I actually went live from inside the building with my daughter, and I was FaceTiming with her, and I was showing her all this stuff, and she was like, "Daddy, I want a shirt. I want a drink thing, and I want this." And I was like, "What about a lunchbox?" She's like, "Why would I want a lunchbox?" I don't know. Because you're in grade school. Maybe you want a lunchbox. No, she didn't want a lunchbox.
Do kids not do lunchboxes anymore?
Oh, they do. They do.
Okay.
She wanted a swimsuit or maybe a cover up. I don't know. I need to try it on. I'm like,
Wait, they have swimsuits?
They got everything. They got everything.
Totally.
How do you pronounce this? And why is there a dash note? How do you pronounce it?
I pronounce it Bucky's.
He's a beaver, Tom. You know beavers.
I like that.
You like beaver. It's beavers. It's Bucky Beaver.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a beaver.
It's a beaver in a hat.
Like
he has a whimsical hat on his head.
He's got the white chin, though.
He's got the teeth.
Like some kind of weasel.
He's got the teeth, though. The beaver teeth.
I believe aren't beavers part of the weasel family, Tom?
I don't know, but they don't got white right here. Some kind of custom beaver.
Call Bucky. Put him on the phone.
Yes, I'm an Oregon beaver. That's what I'm saying.
You're a bit of an expert then.
Oh, okay. That explains some of the...
Right.
I get it.
Yep. Yeah, orange and black, the colors of the mighty beaver, right? Or is it blue and orange?
Orange and black.
Orange and black.
Orange and black.
Welcome to FFIB, everybody. I'm Jason. That is Tom, and joined with us, very special guest, the princess of Blade Show, Sarah from Knife Hub, has joined us. Thanks for being here.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me on. I always love talking to you guys.
We were chatting yesterday about how life isn't the same now that we're home for Blade Show, and all the normies are bringing us down, and they're boring, and they don't like to talk about knives, and they ask us insulting questions like, "Did you have fun at your little show?" And we don't like that. So we decided to come on here and talk about Blade Show and kind of download about what we saw and what the show was like, and just bask in the overall awesomeness that was Blade Show.
Oh, it was so fun.
It was great.
I'm still tired. I swear. Like, it takes a couple days to catch up, and that was a long weekend. I'm finally back. It's been a week since it started. I can't believe that.
We did better at it this year than I think we've ever done it.
Oh, for sure.
We got more sleep than we ever have. We ate better probably than we ever had. And then, I don't know. It felt less crazy than other years.
Where did you guys eat?
Chick-fil-A in the lobby.
Yeah, that's like a $15 sandwich, though.
It's $7, but you get free Chick-fil-A sauce. I don't know if you know that. The sauce is free.
That's not a good deal, Tom.
It's a pretty good deal if you think about it.
Not a good
deal.
Hey,
it's a better deal than my $14 for 2 tacos also in the lobby.
Yeah. So, Sarah, next year you're going to roll with us. We always walk across the footbridge to the stadium, and then we eat at the restaurants over there. There's like 12 really good restaurants across the footbridge.
Pro tips. Okay, I'm definitely.
But it's one of those bridges that, like, it's just like a little walk. It's like no big deal. And that bridge like gets longer as you go across it.
Somehow it's uphill both ways, and it's 95 degrees. And
I just gonna say it's the heat. It's the humidity, actually.
Right.
No, the first day I was like, I don't know what happened to me, but I was like super dehydrated. I left for a couple hours, and then I was like, no, I'm going back because I felt better. So I went back and killed it. It was fun.
Got to puke and rally.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm jealous of how many videos I've seen on TikTok from Knife Hub come up, because I only took one real video, 2 videos. I took one of my mini areas, and I took one of like Balisong kids. And I just took a little screenshot around of the Balisong kids, and it has like 15,000 views on it. And it's like, it's the only thing I took. So I'm glad it's doing well, but it's comical.
I found them. So by the UPS store up where they do the awards, we were there on Saturday shipping some stuff, and I was like, there's all the Butterfly Knife boys. Like, they're all here.
You can hear them.
They do something I call alone together. They're all alone together. Like,
yes.
There's no eye contact. They don't interact with each other really, but they stand close and click and drop and pick up. And
lots of dropping.
I just don't want to see one go flying. I kind of do want to see one go flying, but I don't want to see anyone get hurt.
I recorded almost nothing, and I hate it because every year I go and I'm like, I got to pay attention. Excuse me, I got a hiccup. I also bring like a battery backup so I can charge my phone, and I never run out of juice because I never use it for anything other than texting.
Well, so. I have like it's a vlogging camera that I don't know how to use, and one of the other content creators there, shout out Original City EDC. Anyway, I botched that. Anyway, he's super cool guy. He had the same camera and he
Really?
kind of taught me how to use it real quick. So gonna start using that. But I've been using my phone. Yeah, I was surprised at how much I captured.
Now you brought a whole support team, didn't you? You had
my girls.
Yeah.
They love Blade Show. So they aren't big knife girlies, but they are becoming. They get into it. They had fun.
Sure. Yep, it was. I'm sure it was easier with a team.
Oh, it was fun. Yeah, they make it a lot more fun too to walk around, and they like meeting everybody. And then they got to play with the lightsabers at the pit, so that was random. All of a sudden, I'm chasing my friends through the hotel with lightsabers, and I'm recording them walking around. It's like, what is happening right now?
I wasn't there, but I can promise you those boys were delighted that girls were playing with their lightsabers. You made their day.
I was thinking of all the content you could make of like, guess what we got to play with at the pit and stuff. And I was like, no, I'm going to keep it classy. That's what I'm known for, but it was hilarious.
I'm glad everybody had fun, but I'm sure they went home later and were like, you won't believe what happened.
Some things we just don't tell our parents, right?
Right. What happens in a Blade Show stays in Blade Show, Tom.
For real.
This was, I had to do some math. This was, I believe, me and Jason's 6th Blade Show.
Mm-hmm.
Which they all seem like
made it through COVID too. It never got canceled. Like it was always in a lull, or the
2020 didn't have one. We went 2019, 2020 they skipped it, and then 21, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Man, are you sure?
Pretty positive.
Maybe they did.
They survived it though, and we got back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was your first show, right, Sarah? Second show. Okay.
Yep.
So this wasn't new and scary, but it's always overwhelming. It doesn't matter how many times I've seen it. It's still overwhelming as hell.
Yes.
It's still a lot of people. The people watching is unbeatable. The different types of folks that this show brings in, it's all of them. Every little subgenre and niche of the knife world, everyone that, either wears 511 tactical pants or a kilt or anything in between, you're going to see it at Blade Show, and they're going to have they're going to have a posse with them. There's going to be a bunch of them roaming together, doing their thing, going to the Strider booth, going to Hinderer. They have their own little posses,
The best dude there, though, I saw him this year and I got so excited. He's from Mongiato, Italy. He's a vendor, and I don't know which brand he's with, but he always shows up looking like a used Fiat salesman, and he has a suit. And he wears the same suit all 4 days of Blade Show. And you can imagine how I don't know. I wouldn't smell good after 4 days of wearing the same thing, no matter what it is. But he wears a suit all 4 days. And it's the most outrageous Italian suit you can imagine. And when I see him coming, I'm just like, I want to be like him when I grow up. He's just slick.
That's awesome. I love, people watching there is phenomenal. There's just too much from an inventory standpoint. I was so sad that I missed you guys doing that.
Oh, I took 2 videos. I took the second one, but it's like from a distance over my head doing the gummy bear eating competition. It's one of those things where you kind of had to be there, or the video is kind of like people eating gummy bears kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, next year, totally. If you do it again, let me know. I'll come in and I'll make a video for you guys.
It's not nothing, right? In order to enter, you have to put in $20 or $20 worth of stuff. So there's a fair amount of stuff. And then Rich is good about getting donations. So there's legitimate prize packages. And it'll be, I don't know, 15, 20 people competing. But it needs lighting and a stage and an announcer, I think. It's time to step it up.
It's a lot of people gathered. And you're kind of like, what's going on in that big circle? And unless you're in the circle, it's kind of hard to get up on it. But
right.
So could you ever use the stage upstairs for it?
Probably. We just need Rich can make anything happen.
Yeah, get Rich on the phone.
So Rich travels with, I don't like checking a bag, but Rich has no choice to check a bag, because to get 80 pounds of gummy bears to Atlanta, you have to check a bag. So he brings, I've seen him pack before. He has a carry-on with clothes, a small amount of clothes, and then it's just gummy bears for days. And he's just going around slapping them on everyone's hand. The amount of contact he makes, it's a pretty smart way to meet a lot of new people and make a lot of friends.
Doesn't hurt.
That's genius.
It does not hurt. And my kids, I unloaded my bag of all the crap that I just stuffed in it from the show, like stickers and gummy bears and shirt or whatever. And I sat down. All my candy's gone because my kids ate it all.
Yes, see, patches. Bring back patches. That's one of. I've got this huge to-do list. So I'm thinking about doing a little weekly thing with some content creators, like on Mondays, of like, Knife Hub. I call it the Hub, and they come on and they talk to me. I don't know if it will take off. I've got a few people lined up, just people that follow us and make their own content. So if you guys ever want to chat on Mondays,
we're there. Sounds great.
Okay.
Sure.
I just think one of my favorite parts of Blade Show is the relationships you get to make and the people you get to meet. I think that's like, I look forward to that.
You asked me a funny question at one point. I hadn't thought of it ever, but you just looked at me and went, how many people do you know here? And I thought about it and I was like, I don't know. Like, I bet I recognize 1,000 people, because after going for 5 years now and seeing, the recurring people, I've interacted with many people at many different times. So it's hard to say, but all the Spyderco Millie Club people, there had to be a couple hundred people from the club there. If you're wearing a shirt, I was reaching out to grab you and say hi and all that.
Yeah.
They were everywhere.
And that's the funny thing about being there is like, we can go in there and like, we know a lot of people, but we're also totally faceless because there's a million people who have no idea who we are that we haven't met yet.
That's bizarre to me. Like I was like, oh my goodness, like there's still so much to do for me, like for just getting Knife Hub's name out there. And again, I'm big on relationship though. So I don't want to, we don't want to portray Knife Hub as we're just out here to sell you a knife. We're out here to build the relationship. And if we can sell you a knife, that's great. But I'm big on community.
It matters. I think it matters a lot. And it I don't know. We could all go to Walmart and buy a knife and save money, but we don't. We seek out these brands we like, and then we hang out in the groups and talk to each other, and that's half the fun of it.
One thing that was different for me this year is for the best. I wasn't seeking out like talking to every important maker and Sal Glesser. I've talked to these people before, and so I was like, other people can talk to them. I've seen them. I was just talking to everyday people from the group, everyday people that are collectors. And I was like, I'm not going to wait around for 2 hours just to, get a quick shot with Sal. There's other people that want to do that. So this year I was like, man, I did miss out. Like I didn't even say hi to Bill Koenig. I didn't say hi to a lot of people that I normally do. It was just like hanging out with people. And there's some people that I don't talk to any other time of the year except for Blade Show. And then at Blade Show, we're like this.
Right.
Yes.
There's a couple guys that I only see at Blade Show that aren't on Facebook, and I always run into them, and we always end up hanging out and talking for a while. We have to reintroduce ourselves because it's like, I remember you, and I know the knives you like, and I know where I met you last year, and I know where I saw you in line, but I don't remember your name. So help me out.
I like just meeting everyday people. I'm not a big celebrity chaser, but I was walking back from the hotel to the show, and Ben Peterson was sitting right there, and I was like, listen, that's Ben Peterson. And so I interrupted him. He was so kind. He took a Knife Hub sticker and he slapped it on his checkout cabinet for his booth. And I took a picture of it, sent it to Gene, and I was like, we have peaked. But he was so kind. And then
he's the best.
Oh yeah. So genuine.
Tom, you remember the first time you met him?
The first time I met Ben Peterson was
I was there. I remember it.
Blade Show 2019. It was me and Jason's first Blade Show. We didn't know what we were doing. We have learned since then to not show up like noon, like get there like on time. But we're wandering around on our very short compressed day, and we went over to Blade HQ, and Ben Peterson grabbed me, and there's a couple knife celebrities other than like Sal and Eric and those kind of people. Ben's definitely one of them. And he took me over and he recognized who I was from collecting Spydercos. And he took a picture with me. And then he put it on his story on Instagram with me wearing a wizard hat. And he said the Spyderco collecting wizard. And that was how I met Ben Peterson. And that was just like, okay, I'm hooked. He's like the best. He's like,
I never claimed to be your favorite thing in the world. But that day, when Ben realized that you were the guy behind the Instagram account that took all the awesome Spyderco pictures, I was third place.
But let them like have their moment. That's awesome.
Right.
It was pretty awesome. Yeah, Ben, he's been on the show before. He couldn't be cooler. It is there's knife celebrities there, and it is funny that they're literally just people.
They're just
Yeah.
people.
And he's like that. He's totally down to earth, and that's like if I ever were to make a bigger name for myself with Knife Hub or whatever, I'd want to be that person. Just he hasn't let the fame get to his head at all.
Nope.
That's part of the charm.
Keeping it humble.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
The other probably the biggest knife celebrity you see there is I don't talk to her, is Melissa Backwood. She just walks around and everyone just kind of like, everyone's aware of her presence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she knows a lot.
Oh yeah.
Does she come to your store? She lives in Grand Blanc, I think.
No. Nah. She's never been in.
Yeah. She's always a presence. Yeah, running around shooting content. Yeah, I'm like you, Tom. I haven't talked to her, but she's always there.
Yeah, I saw her a couple times.
She's got this Annie Oakley outfit that she wears on day one, and it's always you see her coming from a mile away. It's funny.
Yeah, I had to tell a couple people, like, by the way, this outfit that I have I look like this at home. Like, I've got the bull bag armory thigh bag, the hip bag.
Right.
And then I wear like the cargo shorts and stuff. I'm like, by the way, I look like this at home. This is my getup. It's not a costume.
Let's see. Why don't we start at the start? So Friday morning, the day of the show, Tom and I have a tradition. We get there early, but not too early because you need a couple hours sleep. We all arrive at different times on Thursdays. So we like to get in line early, but 5 a.m. is about as early as we can reasonably all get there and not fall on our faces. So when we got in line, it was very quiet, and there weren't nearly as many people as in previous years because it seems like some of the ways that the manufacturers were issuing their product had changed. So Dark Timber wasn't using this where everybody runs to the table to get their stuff the way they usually do. So all those guys weren't there at all. And then other people had numbers, so they would get their number and then go home, and they'd come back to line later. So I think they're getting smarter about queuing people outside because with the rain coming too, it would have been really tough to say. You got to stay in line and keep your spot while the thunderstorm happens.
There's definitely some diminishing returns about how early you show up. Like if you show up super, super early, you're going to be, in the front of the line, but you're camping out. Like 5 a.m., we still get in front of hundreds of people that show up at like 7 or 8. And so it's worth it, but that's enough. That's good enough. We still get really good knives. We still get to run in the room.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like it was packed, that early bird thing. That was fun to experience. It's
pretty fun. And there's a lot of brands that if you want the cool thing, the limited thing, the rare thing, the thing that you can't get other than shows, it's the only way to do it. But if you're not interested in chasing some sort of, 1 of 10 or 1 of 5 piece or 1 of 1, then it's not necessary.
Well, from my perspective, for Knife Hub's perspective, it was really helpful because I got to go up to like Vosteed. We stock a lot of Vosteed, and I got to like look at their line without people like having to shove my way. I hate having to push people out of the way. Like ProTech, it's nice to be able to actually talk to ProTech and get my order in. So that was helpful, super helpful.
That's great.
Yeah.
I would say, Patrick, it's kind of pragmatic. Like we had 9 or 10 people that were going to be in line, maybe 12. And when we first showed up, there were 9 there, but we knew that we'd have a couple stragglers coming. And at one point, one of the guys behind us goes, "How many more guys you got joining your group?" And I think they were a little wary because other people would come up and say hi and then leave. And they were worried that we were going to keep adding people. So for the most part, everybody's pretty respectful. And we ended up letting those guys go ahead of us just to make them feel better. And by the end of the morning, we were all friends anyway. I don't think we needed to, but I think people are pretty considerate.
And the line's kind of like a loose term for a line when it opens up. It's like 5 people, 8 people wide of just kind of like a flow of people. So it's not like every person's going in one by one and they're checking your tickets. When the door is open, it's just kind of like a big flow. And it's like, if a couple people cut in front of you in line, okay, it's that big. It'll take you an extra 0.2 seconds to get in the door.
Yeah. It's not single file and there's no scanning of the pass at the door. So that's good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Once we were in, we had an hour to early bird before the regular folks. I don't know what to call them. The regular ticket holders come in, the peons, and
Daily
then
pass.
right, and then by then it's very busy, and the rest of the day is pretty loud, pretty busy.
Did it seem busier this year than last year?
I'd be interested to know the attendance from Blade Magazine and find out. I don't know. It seemed just as busy to me, not any less
At
busy.
least, yeah. It seemed maybe just the booths I needed. Like ProTech was the only one I ended up ordering from, and they were just it was like almost impossible to talk to. I basically said, like in one of my videos, I ordered sight unseen. I trust them enough. Like Matt will take care of us. Just
Sure.
pick out
Saturday
the ones.
felt just as busy as any year.
The main room felt just as busy as it always does, but the
Yep.
small room, I only went over there a little bit, was like slammed this year. It was like impossible to walk around when I went over there. It was very crowded.
Who
That was
started
a
calling
fun
it the baller room?
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's on the sign.
The sign
Yeah.
over the door says ballroom.
I know, but on the big sign that they make saying where stuff is on the Blade
Right.
Show list, they call it the baller room on their
Yep.
thing.
That's a riot. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was a fun room this year. Like that,
Yeah.
People are having fun.
Usually, the tiny tables in the big room are for the guys that have been doing it for 40 years.
Yeah.
But the ones that want to make a splash, they go in the baller room.
Mm-hmm.
So if the three of us were to start a knife company tomorrow and we wanted to set up and really be seen, that's where you want to be. All the bigger names that we know now started in that room, you know.
See, that's what I was talking to Gene about, those up and coming companies that are going to make a big name for themselves. Like I think Kunwu knives are going places. Like I got super excited about them. Yeah, so that was fun. It's fun to see them it's fun to see people graduate too from the baller room to the room.
Yeah, I'm sure at some point, you know, a company like Microtech was probably a small company. I don't remember. It's been a long time since then, but they would have been a small company at some point and then just get bigger and bigger, and then you move to the other room. So, yeah, I think there seems to be like two ways to do the show. One is you make a hit list of everywhere you want to go, and then you just work your way through it. And the other one is you literally walk the aisles and you go to literally every booth. And I don't feel like I've done either of those really excellent.
Nope.
I make
start
a list
out
every
strong.
year and I go to most of them, and then I try to walk the show and I see a lot of it, but not all of it.
Yeah, I start so strong, and then I just like, oh, I'm going over here, and then I'm just zigzagging and.
Right.
I try to be methodical. After I'm like, okay, I'm gonna miss stuff unless I go down all these rows of tables. But there's so many tables in the big room, and like half of them are like not, or more than half are not my cup of tea. I don't need to buy a staghorn to make a fixed blade handle out of. There's everything there, but like I'm like, yeah, but I could just like skip all this and go to Vero right now, and then jump around and then waste all my time running back and forth trying to hit stuff. And it's like methodical is probably the way to do it, but it's really hard when there's bright shiny objects everywhere.
Yep. And then by the end of the show, you realize you never even stopped by Kaiser. You didn't talk to anyone with Wii and Civivi, and just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. When we were at the Vero booth, I noticed that last year they brought one of every model. Like they'd have every model. And then these little mouse pads that had all the specs for each model. So you could look at each one and try them all the sizes, everything. And this year they had maybe half of their models. And I asked Joseph, I said, are you discontinuing things or what's going on? And he said, no, we're just sold through. So that made me happy. I'd rather he be selling through stuff than have a pile of inventory. I wonder that at times with the changes in the market and the way things are going right now. I don't want to see my knife friends get stuck with a bunch of inventory. So
he's got genius stuff though. Like the thought that goes into it. That's what I like about him and Sergio. The thought that goes into the stuff they're making. They're not just slapping together knives to feed. They're putting thought into it. They want to make a work of art that's usable.
Yeah, I agree. I spent a little time at ProTech with Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And I was excited about their new models. They had some cool stuff. They have a really cool coating company, coating in-house now, Tom. they're doing PVD in house, and they have this really beautiful like sapphire blue blade coating they can put on. That's really sick. It's translucent. It's not fuzzy.
Oh.
Really pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, the Mordax that I got from them, the 2 that I did a video on, they're
Yeah.
gone. It just
I believe it. Those are awesome knives. They don't stick around.
Now, do you ever stop by like Microtech and Heretic?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're just not my style.
I stopped by briefly. I met Tony real quick,
Yeah.
and then looked at the kitchen knives that they had just come out with, which they seem to be well made.
I'm sure they are. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. There's that's the other thing about the show. There's something for everybody there.
Yeah.
You know, how many jig bone, Daniel Boone knives did you see? With polished edges or polished blades, and they're just mirrors. And they're gorgeous. And there's an old guy and his wife sitting behind the table, and
They're
it took them
glaring at
10,000
you.
hours to make it. But those guys are there. There's a whole bunch of case knife, guys, and then there's the used knives. There's a whole end of the show where all the secondhand guys set up their used knives, or wherever you go, collections that they buy. So there's really something for everybody.
It's so fun. Like every year, you're like, how can I spend like 9 hours a day at this show and not get bored? But every year, it's just like I need more time. Like, why is it ending?
Your knees and feet will hurt so bad. And the best solution I can tell you is the week before the show, buy 2 pairs of shoes, not 1, buy 2. And you want to trade them out on day 2. I don't care how good the shoes are. You want 2 pairs of shoes. It helps a lot. And place to sit down. I don't know. It's nice to sit down, but at the same time, you can rest when you get home.
I've sat on the floor in the lobby multiple times.
I ate Chick-fil-A on the floor, and then I was like, sat down. I'm like, why is the floor wet? Ew, ew, ew. Oh, well. We make do.
Oh, well, we're here.
It's really hot everywhere. There's so many people, and Atlanta's hot and moist and humid. So even in the hallways, it's pretty warm. It's actually coolest in the convention hall.
Yeah, those skylights or whatever that they have, that lets in a lot of heat, it seems.
Yeah, it's like a microwave out there.
Yeah. I feel like you're in a greenhouse.
I would say for prices, there were some dealers violating MAP policy, and they were selling things below what they should be. There were good deals everywhere. I don't know that it was better than what you would find online or from a dealer, but it certainly wasn't marked up because of the hype of the show. So you're not going to get a bad
deal. Spyderco is discounted, but it's like 2 MAP as like their discount. Right. It's just not retail anymore.
So what dealers experience is I'll go up and they'll have dealer specials for the show. So Protex, I'm getting a nice discount as Knife Hub. So I think there's a lot of discounts going on for us there, but I'm just buying. Yeah.
Most of the time trade shows are closed to the public.
Yeah.
So the business can be done. This is sort of a trade show, and it's a public show. So yeah, I imagine for you guys, there's probably dealer specials or cut sheets that you can look at.
Yeah.
When you go, do you bring a budget for what you want to buy, or do you have an agenda?
So Gene and I stay in like constant contact while I'm there, and I will basically, so the big ones for me are ProTech, and then we stock a lot of Microtech. So I'll hit them, and then I'll send him like pictures of the forms, and then he'll kind of decide what we're going to do and how many of what we want. This year, it only ended up being ProTech. The vibe seemed a little bit different this year with how prepared they were for Blade Show. Like if you go up, do you have any show specials? And yeah, we got a Vero, which was good, but we didn't get any of the Chaves ProTech collab. So it just seemed like they weren't as prepared this year, the companies. But yeah, I typically will go hit the big ones and say, hey, do you got any dealer specials going on for Knife Hub?
Chaves ProTech collab. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. And it looks nice.
Yeah.
Haven't handled one yet.
Is it flipper or is it auto?
I don't know. You know what? I think it's probably an auto.
Yeah.
Probably easier to open than a real Chaves for me. I'd probably enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. I struggle with those sometimes. It's like if I'm in front of a customer, it's like, give me a moment. These thumb studs can be a pain.
2-hand knife.
And I like his design, but it's a beefy knife. Like we've sold a couple, but they're slower movers. It's an acquired taste with his. I love his blades and everything, and it's a nice company. I love his t-shirts.
No one will
real.
ever accuse you of having a girl knife if you have a Chaves. Those things are beefy. There's enough metal in there for 3 knives.
It's almost like, did you finish the handle scales? Like, are they not done yet?
Oh, is this done? Oh, it's done. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see where you're going. Yeah.
It's like, well, you sent me a second pocket clip too, so I was wondering, do I need to
Right.
finish
The
the
thumb
build?
studs are as big as the lug nuts on my Honda Civic, you know. Giant.
Yep.
Pretty fly for a knife guy is here. Thanks for joining. I wonder who that is.
That's awesome.
The new Sapphire Damascus Integrity is sweet.
Ooh.
I don't know that one. Tell us more, Chrissy.
Yeah.
Sapphire.
Paul is here. Paula, we miss you. What have you been doing? What's going on?
Yeah, what up with that?
Let's see what else happened. So I don't know if I showed you, Sarah, but I did bring home a Kunwu.
Ooh.
I brought home a Gringo.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Those are awesome. Does that have that orange peel texture?
It does, and I'll tell the story here. Lily Ding is the production manager for Kunwu, and she was in the booth, and she handed me the knife, and she wanted me to hold it, and I'm checking it out, and I said, "This orange peel is crazy. How did you do this?" And she's like, "Well, it's just it's something we figured out." And I said, "Do you use a laser? Because it's really deep. You probably can't tell in the video, but it's very deep." I said, "You do use a laser?" And she goes, "No." And I said, "Do you use an end mill?" And she goes, "No." And I said, "You're not going to tell me, are you?" She says, "No, I'm not going to tell you." So I don't know how they do it, but the grip is killer. It's S390 steel, and you've all heard of M390.
Yeah. S390
is really a wild steel because almost no one uses it. It's super high in tungsten. So M4 is super high in tungsten. This has more, and it has very little chromium. So it's not a stainless at all, but it's super tough. And then on top of that, the hardness goes crazy. Sergio said the first batch they did, the hardness was 70, and they dialed it back a little bit because it was too hard. And on the hardness scale, 70 is as high as you can measure. So it's like the scale doesn't work past 70. So it was like at the statistical highest point it could be. So they stepped it back a little bit. But this thing is a chonker. And the crazy thing is it's extremely well made. I took it apart last night just to look at the inside, and it has a double track of bearings. But pretty smooth, really cool. It comes with a wire clip and a tie clip. If you want to, you can move it to the other side. The Zerk, or sorry, no, it's not Zerk. The Damascus pivot collars are standard.
I like that.
So, pretty cool.
So is like corrosion resistance something you have to worry about where you're at?
Yeah, with any tool steel, you should be mindful of it.
Yeah.
You should just keep your blade oiled. Don't leave it out and overnight outside, that kind of thing. Keep it dry. That's a big part.
I had a guy buy a ProTech from me, and he lost it, and then he comes back. He's like, "I found it. It's in a puddle of water, and it's all rusted." I'm like, "Yeah, because you lost it in a puddle of water."
Weird. Yeah.
It's like you're offended. It's like ProTech did not make it for that.
Right. Go buy a kitchen knife.
Sir, I'm going to direct you to the lower line of Kershaw's.
Right. Perhaps you'd be interested in the Swiss Army, something Victoria knows.
Yeah. I have PTSD from how you treated your ProTech. Can you not do that? I had a guy ask me today. He's like, what about he's telling me about this chick. It's probably his niece. She's graduating. He's like, oh, I want to get her a graduation gift. And how about this Chris Reeve? And I'm like, well, because I was panicking because I know she probably has no idea what it is. And I was like, well, she's got to love it. She's got to know what she's handling right now. She's not going to like it if she doesn't know what she's handling. And so he ended up not getting it. But I was just kind of freaking out because how do you go from a Vosteed Corgi pup to let's get her a Chris Reeve? So.
Also, I would worry about can she open it?
That's what I showed him.
So I took it out. Person, bad choice. Mm-hmm. Don't buy that one.
I had him handle it. I'm like, she's not going to like it because she's not going to understand that it isn't as smooth. It's not as quick of an open as the Corgi pup.
Right.
So it was pretty, I couldn't believe I was having that conversation. I'm like, what, do you know what? It was bizarre.
What'd you get, Tom? I know you have it there.
Oh, Gene was asking me about that. He saw your video.
I got another mini area. So the early bird line, the main reason to do it is there's this golden hour at the beginning of the show is when all the stuff that I like disappears. And so I got in the Koenig line not knowing what I wanted. And I didn't sprint when the doors opened. And I got in line at the Koenig booth. I'm like, I don't feel like I'm in the right line because I'm the third person back. This is odd. And so
weird.
I'm waiting to figure this out. And then so the coin holders, like Jason was saying, they handed out coins to people that were in line early camping out. There was 15 Koenig coins, and I'd say 9 or 10 of them actually showed up to get a knife. So 9 or 10 people came, got a knife, and then I'm third back in the actual just general line. So I had the choice of, I think everything on the table was still there. So I ended up getting this first, a Koenig Xenon, which is Bill's new model. And I was talking to Garrett with Koenig, like, do I get that or do I go? I mean, I've had a million Ariuses, but I don't have a mini. He's like, you can buy one of every model. So that was like, oh, twist my arm. Okay, damn it. So I guess I was like, I'll buy both and then decide if I want to keep both later. I don't have all the time in the world to decide. So ended up with this mini Arius. I'm definitely keeping this. This is my third one I've had. And this inlay in the titanium is too freaking cool. It's a little touch of fun. I don't know.
I think really it looks killer. I like that it stands proud from the scale a little bit. Yeah. So, inlays on a CRK, Sarah, they stand a little bit out of the titanium, and they did that on that model instead of going flush.
That's beautiful.
So Jason mailed these back to me, and they got back, was it today? They showed up via mail, and I've been just playing with them and taking videos and enjoying them. It's been a week of waiting, so now it's like the reward rolls in.
Yep. I also managed to get a Xenon. They only brought 10, and it's not quite. What's that?
That's what I thought. And someone's like, "There's 30," but
I heard it from someone who heard it from Bill that they brought 10, so there weren't very many. And the certificate in the box says that it's still sort of like a
concept model.
I don't know what that means other than it's not full-fledged, but I'm really happy with it. I think it's a knife I'm probably going to keep in my collection for a while. Yeah, concept.
It's really cool. It's a lot different.
I love carrying it. It's really a refined model. It only has 2 screws. There's the pivot screw, and then there's a screw back here. And those are the only 2 that hold it together.
That's beautiful. Very sleek. Cool.
Yeah.
It almost looks like that Vero. I forget the name right off the top of my head. The one you showed me with the bacon Damascus steel.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks a lot like that one.
The Lux?
It's long and lean like the Lux.
Yeah, it's the Lux.
Yeah. What'd you get, Sarah?
I just got that Voyage Blade Works Outland. So it was an American-made fixed blade for under $100. I was on a budget, so I always hit up the Bull Armory, the Bull bags. And so that's $220 out the door. And then for me, I just put a shotgun on layaway. So I was $1,000 in the hole. So I show up at Blade Show and I'm like, I have made a mistake. But I did get that knife. I got something from Concept. I forget what it's called, but it's not a knife. It's one of those pointy stabby thingies. I'll do a video on it later. You guys will see it. But I call it the Persuader. So
fun.
Yeah. So a couple t-shirts and stuff, tons of stickers, but the knives, I just fell in love with a bunch of stuff. Yeah. So now I have a list.
So Tom, another reason I behaved myself was I had a couple Spyderco in the mail that were waiting for me when I got home. And I knew that, and I needed to be able to afford everything. So I behaved myself. And the first one I got is a laminated blade Mannix. So this model has a laminated blade. You can see that's sandwiched. It's CPM 154 with S90V as the core steel. It has carbon fiber on the handles. And somehow Spyderco got a big batch of this steel, and they ended up making, I think, Mannix natives and PM2s with it. And there's a whole bunch of them out there. And I've had them all at some point, and I've sold them all, and I kind of regretted it, and I wanted one back. So I'm happy to have that one back. And then also this one is much more rare and much more coveted. This is the Freyden Safe and Lock store exclusive. So here we feature a hollow grind on the blade. It's 4V steel, and then marble carbon fiber on the handle.
Ooh, I like that.
Just really pretty. Yeah.
That's my favorite Mannix for several reasons, but the main one is it's when everyone thinks that for a Spyderco to be valuable, it needs to sell out within 2 minutes, doesn't understand the long-term fluctuations in the Spyderco market. That knife had to be discounted and sat on shelves for 6 months, and no one wanted it. And now it's like you can't get those. That's $400 or $500 knife now, and that's what's cool to me about Spydercos is it's always the ones that you don't expect necessarily to be the ones that you got to get later.
So I've got 2 cases of Spydercos at the store, and some of the older ones, they still are sitting there. Now, is it mainly the steel that you guys are looking for in a Spyderco?
There's a lot of factors to it. That one has a lot of things going. It's got the coolest scales because it's got marble carbon fiber. It's got a unique blade shape because it's a saber ground hollow grind, and it's uncommon steel. It's super low numbers. I think there's like 389 of those. It's not a big run. So there's just a lot of factors that go into that. And then it just becomes like the lore of this knife I can't get, so I need to have it.
There's a lot of people out there too that use them. So that diminishes the number of mint condition models. And then there's a lot of people that have to patina everything. So that diminishes the number of mint condition models. So there's not a lot of them out there. And, you know, the owner of the store, Hope Tucker, is a friend of ours. She's a friend of the club. She's been, for years, she's been donating freebies to the club for us to give away. She's just, I don't know, just fantastic person. So I'm glad to own a knife by my friend. You know, I look at this as her knife. So I'm happy to have one finally. I never got one when it came out. I for whatever reason, I didn't like the grind, and I decided I wouldn't like the knife, and the photography didn't wow me. So I didn't get one, and now I got one finally.
I like it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of times I buy Spydercos and I go, what would I change on it? As soon as I get it, I'm going to put a different clip on it. I'm going to change the screws. I'm going to change the scales, and those are staying the way they are. Sarah, your boyfriend's here. Brian's
Which
here.
one?
Mailman.
Hi, Brian.
He's coming over. Brian, I know you're watching right now. I'm going to embarrass you for a minute. Might be the most fun I've ever had in a knife interview was talking to Brian.
Really?
A couple months ago, he was on the show. Yeah. He was telling Tom and I some tales. It was great.
We like tea.
There's no fun like a Georgia postman. I'll tell you that. He just caught up. He goes, which one?
I'm sorry, Brian.
Yeah. So let's see. So Friday ended
The pit.
all of us feeling really satisfied, and we had a great day and good hang, and we all felt good about our purchases in the morning. We went back to the Airbnb and rested for a little while, and then we went to the pit. Was that the pit night?
We went to the pit both nights.
Yeah.
That was gummy bear night, wasn't it? Friday? Because I was there on Saturday night, and I would have noticed if you guys.
Yeah, it was on Friday night.
Okay.
So yeah, Friday night, gummy bear night. Usually what we do is we try to carve out a table area where we sit with our friends, and everybody brings their knives, and all the knife cases go on the table. And in the past, it's been bigger. We didn't do a great job announcing it, so I think people didn't know. Next year I'll fix that because it's way more fun when you get 50 people from the club together. But yeah, we had fun hanging out. Our friend Casey Hedges wasn't there. He was back in Kentucky. Normally he's at the show, and our friend Jeff has a toast. Whenever he drinks, he screams Kentucky in Casey's honor. So yeah, that we did that anyway, Casey, even though you weren't there.
Aw.
So yeah, we stayed long enough to stay out too late, but not too horrible. Where were you Friday night? Were you busy?
Friday night, what did we do? We kind of were all exhausted, so we just hung out at our Airbnb like a bunch of little old ladies. And then we decided like the next night we were going to go live large, and we did. So
I thought maybe you went to the club or something. Atlanta's got a good night scene.
Nope. I am an old lady. I was sitting on the couch. I was actually doing some editing too, getting ready to post content. So I wasn't completely lazy, but yeah. And then I saw you guys had a gummy bear eating contest. I was like, what? Next year. And next year I'm gonna actually have some money to spend.
Yeah. Save up.
Yes. No shotguns. Got it.
And that's one thing that you, the audience, I want to like, if you don't think you have the ability for whatever reason, whatever roadblock is in your mind of going to Blade Show, renting an Airbnb makes it really affordable and kind of like the best part, honestly. Like, it'd be really cool to stay at the hotel and be able to walk up to my room, but it's like, it's not cheap, and getting an Airbnb is less than one night at the hotel when you split it up with a bunch of guys. So like, we'd be happy to facilitate next year. If you go, hey, I want to go to Blade Show, I don't have a place to stay, like 5 people tell me that, and I can all connect you guys to go to an Airbnb.
I think you just invited the internet to stay with us, Tom.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna rent
We're
a ballroom, and we're just gonna camp out on the floor in the Cobb Galleria.
Well, the Balisong guys will be with you, just so you know.
Yeah, they're all there.
They're
all waiting, just waiting.
They're waiting.
Yeah. But cramming 8 guys into a house, there's a lot of big houses in Atlanta, and it's a fun time.
Sarah, last year I found a Real Housewives of Atlanta house, and it was for rent, and it slept 16. It had an elevator, and it had a pool with a water slide, and there were even cars you could rent in the building. So if you wanted to borrow a car, you could use one of the house cars, and it was only $200 a person for the whole weekend, and I couldn't get 16 people to want to stay.
Okay,
so we weren't able to do it.
Hello. I got 3. Okay, I got 3 lined up.
Put you down. That'd be great. We're one step closer to my dream, Tom. I want to stay at the Real House.
I want to stay there too. I mean, I enjoyed our house this year a lot, but it's not a Real Housewives house.
The Rock of Love house might be in Atlanta, or the Flava Flav house from VH1 days. Those might be there.
How far away are they from the show, though?
They're all right there. They're all in Vinings. They're all near the Brave Stadium.
Okay. Yeah, because our Airbnb kind of sucked. So
yeah. They're not all gems.
No, but I mean, if you're not there that often, then that's fine. But yeah, it was kind of like, wow, staying in a Holiday Inn would have been better. And that's saying a lot.
Yeah, we've had definitely worse ones we stayed in this year.
Our first year we stayed at a hotel down the street from the venue. And I think that down the street also means down the hill. And I think down the hill meant that it floods all the time because the carpet was soggy and the whole place smelled like swamp water. Ew. And you're like, this is weird. Like, something's wrong with this place. It was really damp in the room.
Yeah, I have a short video of like we got there at like 1 a.m. to our Airbnb, and we locked the door, and there's this huge carpenter ant, or I don't know if it was carpenter ant, but this huge ant crawling up the wall, and I took a video. It's like, welcome to Georgia. Like, here we are in our Airbnb. The floors wasn't vacuumed. It was like dirty.
When I showed up to our first year, I saw my first ever like lightning bug or whatever you call it, and that, like, what the hell is that glowing thing flying around? That freaked me out.
Sarah, the West Coasters had never seen lightning bug. Yeah,
Tom, it's like their butts glow. I mean,
glowing bugs? We don't have glowing bugs in Oregon. That's crazy.
It's phenomenal, and you can catch them really easily.
Ooh.
Yeah.
When the thunderstorm came through, I think that was Friday. One of the guys that we stayed with, Sean, he's from like North Central California, where it's hot and dusty all the time. And when the thunderstorm hit, he went outside. He was like, I gotta watch it. He was excited.
The thunderstorm was pretty intense for a short amount of time.
It was a good one.
Yeah, it was. I was like, please God, keep the power on, because we're surrounded. The back window looked out to these huge trees, and I was like, please don't let the power go out. And it didn't. It flickered a minute, but it was fine. But yeah, that was a dark sky too for a while.
We had a tree come down in the backyard of the house, so that was
not
the whole tree. It was a branch.
Did you see that a tree came down over the entrance, one of the entrances to the gallery? We had to turn around and go around to get to the pit.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was intense.
Robert, we talked about Chaves earlier in the show. We all agree that they're very well made. We agree that They're very sharp. They come in. I'm just making it up.
You get a lot of knife. You get a lot
of knife. There's a lot of value in the Chaves because there's a lot of metal there.
They don't take it away from you by milling it out. They leave it for you.
Yes. And you can feel it.
Pound for pound.
Yep.
The best value in knives. They're great. They're very well made. So no complaints. I personally don't own any, but there's nothing wrong with them. They're good knives.
Try to handle a few before you buy, because some people love them and some people, it's an acquired taste. The quality is there. The quality
is excellent. But I would say on a scale from soft to stiff, the D10 is very stiff. And if you like a really aggressive flick where you really have to put a lot of thumb into it, you're going to like them. If you're worried about your blade coming open in your pocket because the D10's too soft, it will not be a Chaves. They're pretty stiff.
Now, they do have a smaller model. I forget the name of it. Starts with an I. That's a nice little flipper.
Mm-hmm. But I really like their Oser flipper models. The ones with the Jared Oser flipper tab on the bottom. You know, the one that folds away. What are they called?
Oh, the double kick?
The kickstand or kickstop?
Oh, that's it.
Kickstop. Yeah. The kickstop flipper is amazing on a Chaves.
Very smooth. Really,
yeah. Pretty cool.
Yes, but try to handle them before you drop like $400. Make sure you like them.
It's always a fun game. Like when I get knives in to sharpen, like when I send them back, I'm going through pirate ship to ship the things out. I'm like, I have to like guess how much it weighs in the box. And it's always a fun game. Like a Medford, I'm going to need the pounds and the ounces on pirate ship to fill this out.
Right. Spydercos are 3.5 ounces per knife, but Chaves, go get your scale. Don't trust it.
Yeah.
This is funny. Did you smash one on your forehead? It's like having superpowers for 10 seconds. But it's because the skull gets imprinted on your forehead like Punisher.
I never even thought of doing that.
You're invincible. Mr. Chaves is a very kind man. I bet he is. I've never met him.
Ramon. We love him.
He's a good man.
And he makes good knives.
Absolutely.
And good t-shirts again.
I met a dude at the Kentucky Custom Knife Show once that had $45,000 worth of handmade Chaves from way back in the day. And it was like 9 knives, Tom. He goes, this one's worth $15,000. This one's worth $11,000. It's like, wow. And he let me play with all of them. It was wild.
So we noticed that when he partnered with Riot and took production overseas, that's when people stopped buying them. So
he's talking about the fireflies. Oh, yeah. You smash them on your forehead and you glow for 10 seconds, Tom.
Oh, I didn't know what I thought that. What were you talking about?
Yeah.
I meant the knife. I thought he was talking about Chaves.
That was funny.
There's always a delay in the comments, Sarah. So
that's okay.
You do your best. That's all you can do. Bacon Bit.
I like that name too.
We all like Bacon Bit.
Yeah.
Boy, what else?
Saturday.
Sal was in the booth at Spyderco, and so was Gail. And for both of them to be there with Eric was kind of a treat. I don't remember seeing Gail with Sal before. So all three were in the booth. I know a lot of you got pictures with them, and I love hanging with them. Sal he had an 83rd birthday recently, and he's so charismatic. When you're with him and he's showing you his knives, you can't help but fall in love with him and the knives. It's great. Great guy.
I think the coolest post from Post Blade Show I saw was Sean Houston gifting Sal the Magnamax. Like the super, no one else in the world would really care about this nearly as much as Sal. The lithography of steel and the microstructure under a microscope where you can see it. It's such a specific gift. It's such a cool thing, though. That was really neat. I'm glad.
Laren and Sean and Sal are the top 3 most passionate about that kind of thing. You're right. I never thought about it like that.
But yeah, I got to listen to Gail tell stories, and I just stood there. She didn't stop. I was just listening. Like, sounds good to me. She got more stories than I've got, so let's just tune in.
No doubt. You know, Sarah, they started their company selling sharpeners.
Okay.
Their first primary products were sharpeners, and they literally sold them out of a van. So they'd jump in the van and they would ride off to anywhere they could vend. So it could be fairgrounds. It could be, swap meets. I don't know, anywhere they could go where they could set up their booth, and Sal would have people bring their knives over, and he would sharpen them on the spot, and then give them back, and then he would sell sharpeners. And so their origin was that way before knives.
That one.
Yeah,
That's so cool. And they do have a good sharpening kit.
they do. They have a lot of sharpening options for different types of knives, and then also different functions. They have one that's, specific for restaurants, and they have one that's portable, and they have one that's designed to fit into a leather slip and go in your back pocket. So if you just want to hone your knife while you're on the run, you can do that.
Yeah.
They have things that will sharpen fish hooks. They're really interesting stuff. They have things that work on serrated.
They do. Okay, that's interesting. That would be interesting to stock.
Early on, Sal was able to partner with a secret company that they won't name that makes composite material out of ceramic. Mm-hmm. And they discovered that the ceramic works really, really well as a knife sharpener. So he had a really competitive edge with those ceramic sharpeners long before anybody else did. So everybody else was using like Arkansas stones, and those are great, but they're not as hard as ceramic is. So the ceramic would cut better.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, I like the history of Spyderco.
49 years. So next year, I'm excited to see what happens next year.
Yeah.
Sal was the first to use a pocket clip on a knife.
I know that one.
To do a one-handed opener. Those were all innovations of his. There's a lot of patents in their knives. This ball lock is a patent that they hold. A lot of firsts happened with that company. They were among the first to open the Japanese knife making market to America. So the first Spydercos were made in Japan, and that was all through. There was like a group of American knife makers that went to Japan and sort of opened the doors to that market. And that was the first time we saw a lot of production model knives coming from over there in a big way, So real innovator in the industry.
Yeah, I noticed over there that they just want to talk to Sal, and which I totally respect, because I went up briefly, and I don't like getting in everyone's way, just looking for dealer specials. So I kind of, Saturday I was like, do you guys got anything special for the show? They had some prototypes over there, but there wasn't any like new knives there. I
had a really great opportunity to spend 20 minutes with Sal a couple years ago, and it was, I don't know, I don't want to ruin the memory of it. And there's a lot of other, like you guys, there were a lot of other people there that wanted to meet him. So I just sort of stepped back and didn't talk to him again.
That's just a fun part of it. You get to meet all the people, the names behind the knives and stuff. I love that. Yep.
You mentioned the prototype booth. Did you look at the prototypes when you were over at the Spyderco booth at all?
No, again, it was crowded, and I was just kind of like, I'm in inventory mode, so it's just like, we'll let everyone talk about the prototypes, and I'll go, look at other things.
I can summarize the prototypes for you. Whatever knife you like, there's a micro version, and there's a lightweight version, and there's a jumbo version of it that exists somewhere. That's kind of like the prototype booth. And then there's a bunch of new stuff. Like there's a mini Kapara. Like I didn't know I needed a mini Kapara, but now I kind of do. Like there's just every size of everything. There's probably an XL micro gimbal for all I know.
Ooh.
There's a member of the Spyderco management that's in our group that wants to be anonymous, but he told Tom and I that before the show, Eric will usually go to him and say, hey, go pick what we're going to put in the prototype display. So this person has to go into like a vault where they have thousands of knives that are prototypes. And it's up to him to decide, like, what are we going to show? So a lot of times a knife maker will want to do a collaboration with Spyderco. So they'll send a prototype in with the hole in it, and that'll make it in the case. Or he'll know that a knife is going to be coming. So he'll bring the proto just as a teaser so you can see it, knowing that the real thing is, he knows the inside secrets, right? So he'll stage it with stuff that we know is coming. And then if a knife maker is going to be in the booth and helping during the show, he'll often bring that guy's knife. So Sean Houston's prototype is in the case, and they're working on a Sean Houston knife.
Wow.
So that was in there. So that's pretty neat to be able to stand there and look at what's probably coming down the line and all these like cool idea concept stuff.
Yeah.
So it is fun.
The thing you have to learn about the prototype case, though, is you gotta be patient because some of that stuff is gonna be a minute. So like I've been waiting for a Nirvana 2 for like 6 years. It's a new prototype in the case now. Like they've made some changes to the prototype, significant ones. But like some of those cool things I've just been waiting for, and some of them are brand new every year. So there's a lot of stuff in the works that they have that no one knows about unless you go check out that case. And you can't take a picture of the case, obviously. They're very strict about that.
But isn't that part of the excitement, though? The wait to see what happens next?
Getting the next reveal. Reveal.
Yeah.
Plus, Tom and I get to come home with big heads, and everybody in the group's like, "What'd you see?" We're like, "We saw all kinds of things that we can't tell you."
And we took 2 videos of the whole show.
The only real video I took was a stupid 3-foot-long butterfly knife sitting on a table. I was like, "That's really dumb," and I shot a video of it.
See, it's my job. You know, I enjoy the content creation. I really do, and I love talking to people. But like, it's my job. I'm constantly thinking content.
Yep.
Yeah,
I've tried and failed every year to bring more content back to the group. And then Tom always has dreams. He's like, maybe we could broadcast from the show. And we've tried that twice, and it never goes well. You can't hear anything, and there's a lag because the internet sucks.
Yes, and then trying to get people's attention, and you're being jostled out of the way and stuff. And
right, it's just rude. You're just in the way.
Thanks.
Not you. I mean us. We're not you, of course.
I felt in the way
of the knife world. She's not in the way.
I love talking to the people. Like sometimes I get so distracted with that I forget about the knives.
Right.
And I like their stories.
Was the tiger there? No, the tiger was not there.
Not this show.
If it was there, it would be real.
Is that a different show? It was that a different show?
I have a feeling our friend from Spyderco saw that proto and just kicked it as hard as he could. Said, "We're not bringing that one."
So do you guys ever buy fixed blades?
Yes. Do I ever keep them? No.
Because I love fixed blades. I'm just wondering. I never really see. I'll see some posts on the club about it.
My problem with fixed blades are they don't go really good with t-shirt and joggers with the big leather sheath and my Nike Air Maxes, and they don't have any fidget factor. That's my biggest thing. Is it doesn't have a fidget factor.
Okay.
Tom's more snactical than tactical, so
I see this.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. So what about you, Jason? Just no draw.
No, I would never carry one during my day. I have an office job, so I wouldn't put it on my belt. And there's nothing wrong with them. They're great, and they're interesting, and it's a whole art in and of itself. But no, I own a few, but not really, not my thing.
Yeah, I walked up to Stroop Knives and I was like, "I'm Sarah from Knife Hub," and they're like, "Oh, someone was just saying we needed to find you and talk to you," and I was like, "I'm here."
Here I am.
Yeah, so I gotta email them. I love their knives, and I love the fact that they're veteran owned and operated. And then I love their fixed blades.
I have some friends that make them, and I'll want to support them, so I'll buy one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for the most part, it's just not something I carry.
Okay, yeah, and that makes sense if you have an office job. With my job, I kind of have to look the part a little bit, and I love fixed blades. So
yeah, you can like suit up in all kinds of gear, and just it'll help you sell things.
Ooh, I like that.
This thing came into sharpen, and it made me realize I should have spent more time at the Chris Reeve booth looking at the things that they make besides Sabenzas, like really cool fixed blades. I always forget about. Like, how often do you see a Chris Reeve fixed blade? Like, that's too freaking cool. Like, they have tons of stuff there, and
we've got one at the shop, a fixed blade pre-owned.
Oh, really?
I forget the model.
They're nice. They're cool. I don't see them very often. I'm not really into that world, though.
You hear that, Tom? Pre-owned.
Ooh.
I know someone that works there.
Yeah. Hit us up. We might be able to get you a little discount.
Fixed blades are fast and easy to deploy and store. That's true.
Yeah, a lot of law enforcement likes them.
If you're going to leave a knife in your car, fixed blade's probably a better idea than a folder. You could just. It's going to be better for you in an emergency.
We recommend Mora knives for the car, like throw them in the car, tackle boxes and stuff. We sell more Mora knives than like anything else. They're awesome knives.
They're the same price as like a 2-pack of duct tape. They're not. They're super cheap and they're awesome.
Yeah.
If someone wanted me to sharpen a Mora, I would say go buy a new Mora because they're so affordable that it's not worth it. Just use it till it dies and then buy a new one. They were great.
Yep. Yeah,
Rick's
that
Knives.
bench-
My channel is all folding knives, but I carry a Benchmade SCOCP.
I call it the sock P
Sock
dagger.
P.
That's a nice dagger. Yeah, that's what I call it anyway. I don't know what everyone else calls it, but
I do have a cool as shit dagger made by my friend Chris Ortiz from Cerberus, and it looks like the Hattori Hanzo sword that the bride carries in Kill Bill. It's pretty awesome. He made a bunch of these a while ago, and he screwed up. He called them left-handed daggers, and they didn't sell well. But there's no such thing as a left-handed dagger because the dagger is sharpened on both sides.
yeah, that would confuse a lot of people. Yeah, I had one of the guys bring in a bunch of like T-Cal knives today and show me and stuff. Those are
Check it out.
nice. Oh wow, I like that. I like the
Isn't that
size
cool?
on that too.
The size is cool. The handle wrap is cool.
I
The
like
blade is awesome. It's got those little holes in it. They'll let the
Now,
blood
what's
out.
the
So.
material
Yeah.
under the wrap? The orange. What is that?
It is yellow paracord.
Oh, okay.
So he made yellow black, red black, and purple black, I think. So it comes with
That's
a
nice.
little Kydex.
Nice.
It's cool, but it just sits in a drawer.
Yeah, you gotta be able to wear it. But yeah, a lot of law enforcement, a lot of military, they like those fixed blades. One hand, easy deployment and stuff. So aha, see? It is the sock P.
Love sock P. So Saturday, roll out of bed, come back to the show. That was harder. It was a lot. I had no interest in getting up early.
Yep.
No real reason for it for me anyway. If there's still something you're chasing and you want to get ahead of the line, it's not a bad idea. So if Saturday's the only day you can come, you're going to want to get there early. And the line definitely forms pretty long. Yeah, I remember right as the door opened, it went all the way outside and around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I was getting coffee as they let everybody in. And then I wandered in, just sort of wandered the show again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The only scandal that happened that I'm aware of, something we should talk about now. I'm sorry to bury it an hour into the show, but one of the biggest scammers ever to hit Facebook, who's not from Nigeria, was at the show. And I'm standing at the Casey Lynch booth, and I think it was Saturday, standing at the Casey Lynch booth, and all of a sudden Rich Cox comes running up to me, and he's like, Jason, I think I just saw a scammer from Facebook, and Tom doesn't recognize him. Do you know him? And he shows me a picture, and it was Nick Gatesis. So those of you who have been around a while know Nick Gatesis. This guy always has a profile picture with his child, and he'll join the group, and then he'll put up some knives for sale. And if you manage to buy them from him, he'll mail you like an old sock and a rusty screwdriver. And then you open the package and you go, this isn't what I paid for. And he'll go, what do you mean? Someone must have swapped it in the post office, but I don't know what you're talking about. And then he blocks you. So eventually he's found out, and he'll quit the group before he gets bounced and then come back in like 6 months when everyone's forgotten. So
he doesn't come back as a different name, though. He just comes back as himself.
Sometimes he just comes right back as himself. And by that, 6 months is a long time to run a knife group. You forget the scandals that happened. So he'll come back in and he'll do it again. And he'll make his way around the groups, and he'll defraud people in 5 groups at a time. And he's well known in EDC Go No Go as being just a total weasel. And so Rich shows me his picture, and I'm like, I think it's him, but I'm good at thinking people look like people. I always think everybody looks like somebody, and I'm not the best at really knowing who somebody is. So I didn't trust myself. And so I said, show me. And we went and found the guy. And I walked right up to him, Tom. And I looked him in the eyes and went, hey, I'm Jason. And he goes, hi, I'm Nick. I was like, God. And I saw his Spyderco bag. And I was like, I see you like Spyderco. And now I have to like make something up to kind of talk to him. I'm trying to get him to talk. And we start talking about Spyderco for a minute. And he's looking at flashlights. And I'm like, flashlights, huh? He's like, yeah, flashlights. So then I said, are you on Facebook? He goes, no. I was like, weird, because you look like somebody I know on Facebook. No, it's not me. It's not me, my friend. I said, are you sure? I pushed him a few times, and he was a good liar. He was a really good liar. He said no, and I wanted to believe him in the moment. So, I ended up saying, well, have a good show. See you later. And I walked away. And now I realized it was really him.
Yeah, he walked by my video, my camera in the Cobra Tech video.
Oh, it's so funny.
I recognized the shirt when you posted. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
that's the guy.
What a small world.
If only I had known then.
Well, he lives in Atlanta. Pictures of him have popped up through the years. People have done a good deep dive to try to find him on the internet and try to go give him a whooping and all that. But Nick Gates, if you're watching this, you are not welcome in the Spyderco Millie Club. Take your shit and go. Yeah.
Buy a knife from me. I'll ship you some.
Yeah. Maybe a PSOC.
I once the name and the picture were up, I 1000% recognized him because it all rolled back to last time he was making the rounds, and I was like, what would really freak this guy out if hundreds of people randomly started following his private Instagram page. So I posted on all the groups, like, everyone, this is a link to his Instagram. Go follow him. I just want him to know he's like found out and that profile's found. And I was cleaning out Instagram a month or two ago, and I'm just unfollowing accounts after just whatever. Like, who is this Nicholas Gazate? I don't even know how to say his last name. It's like Gates's Isis, something like that. It's got
a lot of vowels. A lot of vowels.
Too many S's and Z's in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the guy. 100%. That's the dude. And he wears a t-shirt tucked into jeans with a belt on. If that says anything about him, that's how you spot him.
I regret not running into him again. I was going to hound him until he walked out. And there's a bunch of keyboard warriors that are in the groups that were giving me shit about not beating him up or taking his wallet or calling the cops or whatever. What am I supposed to prove in the middle of a knife show? Yeah. I can't prove you defrauded anybody. Hold on a minute. Let me log into Facebook and show you what this post of some random guy on the internet said. No, I can't. Yeah. I have no evidence, right? He's not red-handed. He's not holding anybody's money. I can't prove that he's a criminal. Somebody's like, I would have found a sheriff. It's not his jurisdiction. I don't know that the crime happened in this county. You don't know what you're talking about. So confronting the guy, like, I'm going to be the one that gets thrown in jail for harassment. It won't be him. So if I could do it all over again, I would have really hounded him. I would have really just kept talking to him and said, there's a lot of people mad at you because you stole their money. You understand that, right? You stole their money. You stole their money and you mailed them rusty screwdrivers and e-socks. So anyway, I kind of wish that I had been able to just hound him out of there, but he might have gotten scared and run off anyway. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, we should send him a tuna sandwich with cat food in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sure there's things that were dramatic that happened that were out of our world, but there was no Medford situation. There was no Kid O'Connell situation. There was no of these big make or break the whole show kind of like moments this year, which was nice. It was nice not being involved in anything that was.
I hope there wasn't.
Viral.
I didn't hear of any. I hope there wasn't.
Yeah.
Usually,
if there was, I wish I would gotten it.
Usually every year somebody gets ripped off. A table will lose a bunch of knives or somebody will get a collection stolen or something like that. But I didn't hear about anything this year.
Yeah, not at Blade Show. At a gun show I worked with the knives. Someone walked off with a couple guns.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yep. But I didn't hear anything this show.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was almost too fun because now we're sitting here talking about how fun Blade Show was. And then to go to work the next day, it's just like, what?
How was your little show?
Yeah,
did you see your friends?
I have it special because I get knife lovers coming in and they're like, how was Blade Show? And it's kind of like you've been to the promised land.
Right.
And so I recommend to everyone, if you can ever make it, definitely do it.
Ooh. So it's hard to explain what it's really like, but Blade Show on Instagram yesterday actually put up a decent post to show what the show is like. Here, let me share it.
I don't think they're in the group anymore, Tom.
They used to just share things like about engaging with scammers online, and then they'd show like screenshots of like poking at. Blade Show's Instagram account is interesting. It used to be anyway. They used to post things that were very not about.
I'm grateful that they host the greatest knife show in the world, but their content could be more knife related and real knives, not fake knives, not gimmick knives, not toy knives, not movie knives, not clown knives, real knives.
So this is the line on Saturday morning. It goes out a different way, but this is a good
Wow.
view of like
Yep.
what the actual room looks like. Like it just keeps on going.
I think there's 15 sections across the room. So we saw 900 there a minute ago. That was aisle 900.
Mm-hmm.
But there's 15. It's 15 wide, and then the little room. That's the little room, the baller room.
Ballastol.
There's a sample. There's a lot of booths. Oh, every year I want to go to the Balisong flipping competition and see someone lose a finger, but I once again missed it.
Stand really far back though.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I wish I could do that. I wish I had that
No
skill.
doubt.
I just
No
don't want to do it in public. Now, is that a trainer or is that the real deal? You think that big one that guy's got?
I think he had one of your bags on his thigh there, Sarah.
No, they're mine. I'm not one of them.
Yep, there's the after party. The lady on the left at the bottom, she's Alicia.
Mhm.
She's in charge of the whole show. Whenever there's a blade show, she's the head in charge. When you see her stomping around, I always say thank you because it's a hard job.
Yeah. One of the guys on security, he was new to it, and he's like, when I started, they told me you will not believe the knife show, like how many people are here. And I was like, hey, it's a huge community. We all love it. Like, it's fun. We're a fun community.
It's probably the safest place in the United States and during that
Yeah.
time because there's 100,000 savages and they each have 10 knives and most of them are armed with
Yep.
firearms.
Yeah, I felt completely
Very
naked
safe.
without any weapons.
You're lucky you have a receptive audience to come back to tell about the Tales of Blade show and get all your excitement in our system. Yesterday was the last day of school for my kid, last day of kindergarten, and they had like a party at a school that's now closed that is 1 block from my house. It's just like a park and a building they haven't figured out what to do with yet. And so I went there and there's a mom that my son is like best friends with their daughter and they live down the street. So I know her kind of, but we haven't engaged in too many talks. I had to pull out a knife to open a popsicle, and then she's like, "Oh, you have knives?" Like, let me dump some knowledge on you. And Kim had to interrupt me to stop me talking about knives because this poor lady, was just getting like. Then I went to Blade Show last weekend, and it was so cool. And Kim's like, "Yeah, so the kids, huh? Where's she going to school next year? She doesn't care, Tom. She doesn't care. I'm just gonna cut you off and end this conversation."
Well, poor Gene, I come back wanting to spend all his money on new knives for the shop. I'm like, and then we need to get Kunwu knives. Like, we need to. And then, it's just.
He's like, a what, Woo? A what?
And then I showed him, he thinks they're cool. I was like, we really need to get Cansep knives in there. I think we need I'm full of ideas still. And he's open to it, but it's just like, we've got to pace ourselves here.
Yeah.
Right. Settle down, Tiger. One at a time.
And then I was like, I got to post more content. And I'm just, yeah. But then yesterday it really hit me. It was just like this kind of the letdown after the party. It was just like, I got to wait till next year.
Yeah. Everyone that hasn't been to the real Blade show is like, you don't have to wait till next year. You can go to Blade Show West or Blade Show Texas. Sure. And I'm sure those are great shows, but the big show is the big show. Like, It's the main event. There's a reason it's the big show. It's not called Blade Show East. It's just Blade Show. It's
the people I respect say that the Texas show is the best show.
Really?
Yeah. So I kind of want to find out for myself. At some point I want to go. And then Blade West, everyone who goes loves it. And what's not to like about Utah? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I need to go see some more shows, I think.
I would want to go to the Texas one just to experience it.
Yeah.
I was told there's a large knife show in Wisconsin in March, end of March. I forget what it's called. It's like it's probably a bunch of like old buck knives and stuff. But
the other big shows to see are like the New York Custom Knife Show, the LA Custom Knife Show, or I guess they call it California Custom. The Nashville show has become a pretty big deal. That's in November, usually near Thanksgiving.
The Pacific Northwest Custom Invitational in Seaside, Oregon has become a very big show, which is like a destination show because you come to Portland and you drive to the beach and stay at the beach, and it's become a really big show with fancy makers. I went to it one time. I can't afford to go to that show because those are price points starting above my comfort level.
Yeah.
There's a fun one in Kentucky I go to every December, Sarah. It's always the first weekend in December. It's the Kentucky Custom Knife Show. It's in Louisville. It's in Lexington.
Ooh,
And it's really just a bourbon tour show with a knife show. And everybody goes on bourbon tours the day of, and then they come back to the hotel just hammered, and the show starts at 6. So the doors open at 6 p.m. and by 8 p.m. there's nothing left. So
yes, you can sell drunk men knives very quickly.
It goes real quick. So by 8 o'clock, all the Americans have been lottoed, and all of the Scoopy Loops have been scoopied, all the collectible stuff. And then everybody goes to the bar and they just get hammered again. So it's a fun trip.
Wow. Okay. I'll keep that in mind if I ever need to sell off some inventory.
Lexington's not that far. It's really hard to get a table. Makers want to get there, but they can't get tables. It's very difficult to get into. If you're not into custom knives, it's not a great show. And if you're not the kind that likes to gamble on lotteries, then you probably won't get anything because it's just very hard to buy anything.
It'd just be fun to go for the experience.
The bourbon part's the best part. Yeah. Usually I meet my friends at about 10 a.m. at one of the distilleries, and we'll hit 3 or 4 distilleries and grab lunch, and then make our way back to the hotel and then get in line and play with knives. See,
my favorite thing about having a table at like a blade show would be the people, like watching them, talking to them.
Sure. Tom, Breakfast Club, EDC.
Oh, the eggs. The
egg people. They have a booth.
Oh, then
someday you and I need to have a booth.
Sign me up.
You guys do. Table. You guys need a table. Yep.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
That way everyone can come find you. I walked by a few people, and this wasn't an experience that I had last year because I wasn't like Knife Hub. We're still getting there, but we weren't as well known last year. But I walked by a few groups, and they're like, I heard my name, and I would like turn around and kind of go. I was like, nah. But now, like I had someone comment on one of my videos. They're like, we saw you, but we were too intimidated to talk to you. I'm like, what's intimidating about me?
You're kind of a big deal. You're kind of a big deal.
We're working on it.
American Edge. So kind of friends of the club. American Edge Knives are in Rice, Minnesota. I would love to go visit them. They're amazing people. They have a really cool store. Lene has a really fun Instagram presence, and she's constantly, promoting her brand in the store and what's in stock. And it's just so far. Right. I Googled it from my house, Tom. It's like 14 hours one way. So
you got that. You're pro.
It's too far. It's too far.
In winter. Was Atlanta from you?
Yeah. Atlanta is 8.5.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, American Edge is really carving something out up there in Minnesota. They've been doing a show every year, and it's getting bigger and bigger.
I'll have to check them out. That probably wouldn't be that far from me.
It's pretty far for you. You have to go through Chicago to get there.
Oh, yeah, that would be far.
You got to go around.
Yeah. Never mind.
You could UP it. That's probably harder.
I love the UP. I'll make an excuse.
Tom, UP is like, it's like the Western Oregon of the Midwest. There's just savages up there.
Yeah.
They're awesome. We call them Upers. They're crazy.
Upers. Yeah.
My friend Aaron, his family's from the UP, and he's very proud of that. And I'm like, sounds great. Sounds cool.
It's a good place. Beautiful.
By Recent Design says this is the first time I've been to a show and didn't run into Tom or Jason. Sorry, I didn't see you. One does not simply go through Chicago. That's true. You bear it like Frodo in his ring. It's like a burden. It's hard.
It's scary.
Do I go around and add 45 miles to my trip, or do I go through and roll the dice that the highway's open?
I'd go around.
Use one in pay.
Yeah.
Met Brian Winters last year at American Edge. Brian Winters and Winterblade, I can't say enough good things about that company. They're just so clever and innovative and interesting. I got to meet Brian last year at Blade. He was working the booth, and I think he had 3 of his daughters in the booth with him. They were all like hitting it like a family. It was awesome, and couldn't be a how do I put this? I mean it in the nicest possible way. Quirky and eccentric. The guy is like he's like that mad scientist thing. He's got that down.
They make the best knives, though.
They're crazy. Yeah.
Was that a winter knife, the one that you had to flick backwards and like all the insides of the knife came out, and then it had to like engage up, and then it all went back together? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that was one of them.
That was interesting. I couldn't figure that out.
Last year, Zach Cooper took a video of their out the front that was magnet driven and put it on TikTok, and it went like 3 million views.
4.3 million views.
4.3 million views. Yeah.
Crazy.
One can only dream. Maybe that's what I need. Better knives.
It's not about better. It's just about luck. It's all about luck.
It is. Have you
Lady
noticed?
in Black? Do you mean babies in black? I don't know Lady in Black.
That was in all caps. That was an order.
Yes.
Alpha's, yeah. He went from this to this.
Ooh.
He's screaming at me like Cartman.
Yeah. There's some attitude in that.
Right. I don't know Lady in Black.
Tom, how is TikTok doing for you?
I just crossed 3,000 followers right before the show. And I really only started a couple weeks ago. Like, for real. Actually, I did it for like a year and nothing happened. Then all of a sudden something changed on the TikTok algorithm. And my knife post stopped getting censored and I could just grow.
Yep.
And I had one knife video go viral twice a couple weeks ago, and it got 1.7 million views. And it's an instructional video of how to use Sharpie on the edge of a knife. It's so boring and so specific to a certain audience. I have no idea. There's 1.7 million people saw that. 1.699 million people didn't need to see that, but they did.
Wait, what kind of hashtags are you? What kind of black magic is this? Because I have never had one go that viral.
I had it go viral the week before. It got 200,000 views. I just reposted it. And I changed the caption a little bit, and then it went viral again. I got 900 followers from it.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
It's addicting. It's like,
I know.
It's the first video. I mean, I've been posting knife content since 2017 on Instagram, and to actually have a video go viral is like, finally, I know it can happen. It can happen. Okay. You just gotta put in 8 years of trying and 1 clicks. It was worth it.
Okay. Well, I've gotten.
I see your stuff I see you on TikTok nonstop. Like your videos and my feed are nonstop popping up. And then I hear Jason's voice talking in the back of the Vero booth saying what all the knives are.
I know he had good information. I was like, he won't mind. He had
I don't mind
to say.
I would have been more charming and adorable if I'd known I was going to be, recorded forever. I thought it was just for Gene.
Well, I got Sergio. He's like, I had no idea you were recording. I'm like, I said when I walked up. I was gonna tell. He would have stopped talking if I told him I was getting it.
Sergio might be he was my favorite person that I met this year that I didn't already know by far.
Yeah, he's cool.
Because as Jason coined, he's dressed and looks like a pirate, like for real. Like he could be straight out of the Pirates of the Caribbean movie and be like, yeah, seems legit. Got a gold tooth. He's got the pants. He's got the look.
I would trust him.
He was a hoot to talk to. When I walked over to that booth, he grabbed me and pulled me back there, which was so cool because I didn't know him, but he's in the club and knows everything that's going on. And I thought it was so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He told me that he was completely shocked by his reception at the show. By the way, everybody, if you were there at the show and you went to see Sergio, you should know this about him. He said that he expected to come to his first Blade show and just be nonstop assaulted by jerks with their opinions and their attitude. And he had no idea how gracious and kind everybody would be. And I was sad for him that was his expectation, but I was so happy that it got smashed. Right. And he said, I had no idea it would be like this. So he felt really good about meeting everybody and talking to them and building relationships and, meeting dealers and meeting friends of friends and people that are in his community, right? He got to talk to him in person. So he goes, I understand now. This is where I need to be. I need to do more of these. So that was fun to hear. I was glad to hear that. I think about that sometimes. Like, we're all Americans and we live in America and we run around red, white, and blue all day, you know, and back-to-back World War champions and all that attitude. And you wonder, like, how does it come off to foreigners that come to our country and what's it like for them? And I was glad that he had a great experience. I don't know, made me feel good.
Good. Yeah. I hope he comes back.
I definitely get that. I'm so sensitive. Like, when people visit Portland, I'm like, please let it be good weather. I just want to give a good impression. Everyone be nice to this person. I want to be nice here.
that happens pretty much in Waterford. Michigan, we're pretty weird, but we're pretty friendly.
How far away from Detroit is that? I'm not really familiar with Michigan.
Waterford, we're about 40 minutes north of Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah, dependent on the construction, which is our fifth season here.
I love people from Michigan. You guys have a really cool Midwest thing where there's people from Michigan are not delicate. Like, they're not, like, you think about the Southern Belle and like the genteel kind of attitude. There's none of that. They're not jerks on purpose like somebody from New York or Boston, but they're tough like them. Mm-hmm. But they're also kind. So there's like an earnestness that comes from people from Michigan. They tend to be real honest and they look you in the eye and they tell you what they think, and they're not rude, but they're also not scared. They're not scaredy cats. So there's sort of this cool like independence thing that you might find in Texas, but it's mixed with kind of a New York toughness. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's the winters.
Winters, yes.
It hardens you.
It's that whole Rust Belt thing that kind of comes across the Great Lakes that makes people from Cleveland are just like, they're very similar to people in Detroit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I've covered Michigan for years for work, and I've always enjoyed being up there.
We're fun. Like, I've noticed that Michiganders tend to be good storytellers, and our sense of humor is kind of unique.
Yeah.
And most of it centers around our weather and our sports teams. So
right.
And our weird food. Yeah.
Your accent is amusing too.
See, I always pictured it as a lack of an accent, and then I was talking to this guy from Alabama, and he's like, "Yeah, you've got an accent," and I was like, "Excuse me, I've got the accent."
You hit your A's weird, and it's not. You think it's going to go like Fargo, but it never goes to Fargo.
Yeah.
But it's not Chicago.
No.
Michigan, man.
I was about to say you don't have an accent, and then you said the word accent, and I was like, "Oh, I'm wrong." Never mind.
Yeah.
Say taffy apple salad.
Taffy apple salad.
Yeah, there it is.
The A sound is where it goes, where it gives away.
Yep, yeah. I think that's what most people say.
My family's my in-laws are all from the Chicagoland area, so South Side. So their A's are like 5 times longer than yours. They'll say taffy like that.
5 minutes later, they finish their sentence.
The times I visit, and I'm like, I got to get out of here.
So where are you from originally?
I grew up in Indianapolis.
Okay. So you're still in that area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's not too bad of a drive from Michigan.
No.
Yeah. What about the Indy 1500, that big show?
Oh, you got to come to that. Man,
really? Would it be worth it?
Tables are like $90 too. So you guys could throw a table up and vend there. It's cheap and it's an enormous show. It's the largest gun show east of the Mississippi, I believe. And it's legit.
It's in Oklahoma, isn't it?
No, it's 5 times a year. It's in Indianapolis.
Okay. Because I looked it up the other day. I was like, Oklahoma, it's called the Indy 1500. So
maybe their corporate office is there.
Oh, that's probably it. So yeah, because I could do that. I could even do it like a weekend and run down there with a bunch of knives and set up.
It's never boring and it's never the same. You could go to the show 30 times and it's different every time. Sometimes they'll just be Chinese made semi-automatic rifles, and everybody will have the same kind of rifle, and you don't know where they came from, and everybody's got them. It's like some supplier landed a boat and unloaded 50,000 of them, and they're all there. And then there's other times you go and it's everybody selling secondhand ammo, and then you go another time and it's everybody's got Glocks. Like, you can't go anywhere without tripping on a Glock. It's really wild. Then the knife content is kind of lacking. There's not a lot of knife presence there.
That's where we thrive.
That's right. There'll be a couple dudes selling used knives for too much money, and then there'll be a couple dudes selling forgeries for way too much money.
Yep.
But for the most part, not a lot of knives.
It's funny to see it's funny to see Knife Hub start to grow, because the last show I did in the area, we had the other knife sellers coming up to me and being like, is this real? Do I have this priced accordingly? And I think with one of them, I'm like, I'm sorry, that's a fake. It's just like so sad. I'm so sorry. I have people get offended at me for telling them their Benchmade's a fake. It's just like, I can't buy that from you. It's fake. Well, I bought it here, and it's like, that doesn't change it.
Yeah, I don't know. Most of the time in our group, when people show a fake, I'll go, was the price too good to be true? And they'll go, yeah, it was a real good deal. And I'll go, that's how you know it's a fake.
Yep.
They're always $39. It was $39, wasn't it? They go, yeah, it was $39. Yeah.
How'd you know? I couldn't pass that up.
They're not actually $39. It's a really clear sign that it's made of chocolate.
Yeah. I love when they say, oh, it was a gift. It's like, oh, this is going to be an awkward conversation.
Isn't Michigan the same state as Ohio, only with
No.
more Canada accent?
Okay, cancel that person. No. We are so much better than Ohio. So we have better beaches. We have better people here. There's so much about Michigan that's better than Ohio.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody what a paradise the West Michigan beaches are. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah,
I don't want anyone to go to South Haven and ruin it and find out that it's better than Florida and it's closer and there's no sharks. There's no jellyfish. It's
beautiful views that we gave Toledo to Ohio and kept the UP for a reason.
Good deal.
Toledo's the swamp.
Yes.
Well,
nothing
weed
in Toledo
is legal
but a
in
glass
Michigan.
factory and midge flies.
Yeah, there's a nice park. There's one nice park on the outside of Toledo.
Is there?
Yeah, it's called can't even remember the name.
It's called Michigan Park.
Yeah, it's probably this is what we wanted for the UP. So yeah. But yeah, Ohio, not the same. Very different. People are different.
Not one redeeming pizza restaurant in all of the state of Ohio.
No.
You guys are lousy with good pizza. It's everywhere.
Detroit style pizza is good, but yeah, it's like where you gotta know where to find it. What's this burger joint you were talking about in where is it? Bay City, you said?
Yeah. I have planned road trips around that restaurant. Seriously, like I needed to tour Michigan, but I didn't need to go to Bay City. There's only one place to go in Bay City. But I went there on purpose to time it so that I could go for lunch, so I could get a cheeseburger there.
How far off the highway is it?
Bay City's kind of off the highway, flat out. Like it's not near anything.
Yeah, I drive by it on the way to the UP.
You go to Saginaw and then keep going, then you run into Bay City. It's kind of downtown, but it's a drive-through. There's no there's no seats in it, Tom. It's just a drive-through, and it's weird. It's like one of those really weird buildings at a weird angle, and when you drive up, it does this, so you know it used to be a bank.
Oh yeah.
And then they've got one of those bolt-on fat fans on the back of the building to exhaust out of the griddle area, and then the whole back of the building is like black from the grease, you know. And you pull around, and there's only 5 burgers to choose from, and 2 sizes of fries and a milkshake, I think, and that's all they sell, and it's phenomenal. And you get it, and you go, "This won't be any good. It's too cheap." The burger is like $7 or $6. It's not expensive enough to be gourmet. So what's the catch? And then you get it, and it's amazing.
It's that grease.
It's good, man. They know what they're doing.
Changed the grease in like 50 years.
Probably.
Yeah, I love a good burger. Oh my goodness. But see, I'm the girl that like I love Culver's. Like I said last time, it's the best burger. One of the best. There's a lot of bars in the area that have really good burgers.
I don't think Tom's had Culver's yet. They don't have them out west.
No, we don't.
Tom, I'm sorry.
But we are getting an In-N-Out, another one. So
I've never had In-N-Out, so
it's actually pretty good. The fries are awful, but the burgers are pretty good.
Really?
The burgers are well done. Like every ingredient in the burger is really thought out, and they're
okay.
That being said, I don't know. They don't grab me. They're good. They're good. The fries are really as bad as they say.
Now, how would you rate it compared to Culver's? Like In-N-Out, Culver's?
I would say the quality is about the same. So Culver's, Tom, they don't freeze the meat.
Yeah.
So it's the same kind of fresh ground thing. The ethic is different. Like Culver's is based in Wisconsin and it feels like it's from a dairy farm, whereas In-N-Out is LA based and it feels like it's an LA burger. So
Okay.
the vibe's different.
Yeah, a lot more cows at Culver's.
The Oregon version of Culver's, I guess, would be we have Burgerville, and like if you drive down to my parents' house, you go to like an hour and a half south of Portland. There's a big giant billboard. It's like last Burgerville for 24,000 miles because it's just an Oregon thing. It's pretty good. I get that. It's probably same thing, local flavor, but chain.
Yeah.
So if you're going to like a new place, like a bar, and you're gonna get a burger, what are you looking for? Like I personally go for their barbecue burgers. See what that's like.
I usually stick to a basic burger. Just
Okay.
my favorite burger in Portland is actually at a sushi restaurant, and I used to eat it a lot. It's Wagyu beef, so it's like legit, really good. It's really good burger. It's like I looked at the menu when Jason put up his post because everything's getting flagged as spam in the group. So he put up the post asked to bring out the burgers. I had to think about it for a minute. I'm like, that's my favorite burger. I went to the menu and it's like, it is now with bacon like $19, but it's like a half-pound burger. And it's like, I don't eat it every once in a while. It's very special. Yeah. Explodes with juices if that's your thing.
Sounds amazing.
It was pretty good.
That does sound good.
I'm like you, Sarah. It's hard to say no to bacon. I'm always down with bacon. And when you see bacon, barbecue, cheddar, you kind of go,
no brainer.
I don't want mayonnaise and I don't need tomato. That sounds good. So
yeah,
I usually go the same way.
Yeah, I just like trying new things. Yeah, the other day before I knew the posts were getting like flagged, I got a message and it was like, oh, an admin approved your photo. And I was like, I literally like had to go pull up the photo. I was like, what, did I do something wrong? Like, did they put me in jail? Like, I'm so sorry. And then I realized everything was getting flagged.
I have cleared no less than 200 spam posts today. It's the same ones. I just hit the button as fast as I can to clear them out, and they come back again. And then Jason clears them out, and then Dan clears them out. And we've just been all working on it all day long. It's constantly refilling the list.
You know, Tom, I have a theory now. I've noticed sometimes you open it and it'll say there's 20. And you see the first one. If you click on the picture, it'll say not available.
Yes, I get
you
that
notice
as well.
that sometimes?
I think every time for me when I click on the picture, it does that.
What I haven't done is I haven't gone to verify if it's actually posted or not. And that's like a ghost or like a residual thing that's still there. Like it's kind of caught in the machine, but it's not actually stalled. It's actually posted. I'm wondering if we're just accepting, and it's actually posted, and that guy's getting smashed with notes.
There's one I saw, and it was like it was a sale, and the sale was done, and I kept getting flagged. Like, I know, I'm just going to decline this one. The business is done. It's over. It's getting flagged every 5 minutes. It's like, just repost if you have to post. If you are stuck in the loop right now, try reposting. Because like I was commenting on Rich Cox's post earlier today, and then the post disappeared, and then I had to go to spam filter and then unapprove it so I could finish commenting on his post. So now I just approved him, but it's impossible for us to go through and manually pre-approve people so they don't get spammed. We can't figure it out. There's something going on. Hopefully it gets fixed with Facebook in the next day or two. But
you want us to keep posting.
Post, and if your post keeps on getting in spam like over and over again, some people, I suggest just make a new post, delete the other one until this gets figured out.
What I don't want is people to get discouraged and stop posting because then it's less stuff to read and it's not as fun. So, yeah.
Because I got stuff lined up I can post. I just didn't want to make more work for you guys too.
It's no work. It's just a thing.
Okay.
Let's see how many are there right now.
It's just been piling up while you guys have been on here.
Probably.
I cleared like 23 right before we started.
35.
Wow. It is impressive how active this group is.
We're really proud of it. It's not.
Yeah, that is.
It's something that's probably like if I had to stack rank all the things that I like about our group, the fact that it's so vibrant and active is something that I'm really proud of, and that it's. I don't know how much it was us and how much it was just organic. Like I don't know how to take credit for it, but I don't want to break it for sure. And something that Tom and I have spent years talking about is like, how do we continue this? How do we not break it? And we're very thoughtful at times about, is this good or is this bad for the vibe and the culture? And, You know, sometimes you'll have a guy in the group that you really admire and respect, and they'll come to you and go, "Hey man, the culture's off. If things feel weird in here." And you have to take it seriously, because it's easy to watch it die. And we've watched other groups in Facebook come and go. There's lots of groups that used to be enormous, and they had all the activity was in that group, and now they get 3 posts a day, maybe, you know, and it's sad to see that happen. And I don't want it to happen to my group. So, you know, we're always mindful of the culture and the feel. We want everybody to feel welcome. When we see people that are a little left of center, that are a little right of center, when we see people come in the groups that are not like us, we get excited about it, because it means that it's another opportunity to kind of stay fresh and big tent. We try to big tent. Everybody's welcome. Just talk about knives.
Yeah. I've noticed that it's a lot of fun. It's a fun community, and stuff like this helps tie it together too.
I think it does. It's a chance for us to go on camera and talk right to everybody in the group, and be truthful and honest about our thoughts of the community and all that. And then I hope people feel like they know us a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch 5 years of live streams and feel like you don't know Tom and I. So I hope that helps a little bit, engender a little trust. When people accuse us of being scammers, or, you know, harboring scammers, I get really bitter about it in the moment, because it's like, you have no proof of that. You're just throwing something out. You don't know anything about what's happened here. You have no idea.
Why did you guys let a scammer in the group? Well, they're pretty tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, have you ever dated a loser? I mean, at first you don't realize what's going on. Imagine having like 19,000 people that are in your group.
If you took a snapshot over the last years, honestly, and took the average, this group gets a minimum of 100 posts and up to 200 posts a day. And it really does average out to be about a 150. And it's been like that forever.
Yeah.
And the other day I was going through all my social media, just trying to clear out extra junk that I don't need and leaving groups. And I started going and visiting all these groups that I was really into a couple years ago. Like, I admin a group called CNC Knives. It gets 1 post a week. And it was like active at one point. And like the big Spyderco group has like 36,000 members. It's just called Spyderco.
Yeah.
And that's where I started. I was in that group. I still am in that group. I don't post a lot, but I opened it up the other day and they had 9 posts that had happened in 24 hours. And it's like, that scares the living shit out of me, that such a big, important, influential group could just kind of like dry up interest wise and people move elsewhere, or however it ends up, how it ends up. Groups can die. And if that happens, I don't think there's any coming back from it. So we're very mindful to just keep people comfortable posting. Like, if you have something to say it. And by encouraging people just to be, you know, open about what they post and what they're comfortable posting, it just, I don't know, content, like a massive amount of content might not seem like a good thing necessarily. It should be quality over quantity, but sometimes getting a bunch of stuff out is important because not everyone's going to see everything. A lot of people don't come to the group to visit the group. They see it on their general feed in Facebook. They don't necessarily open up the group and see what's new. So to me, the more stuff that's out there, the more stuff that's making an impression, the more people are going to stick around here. And there's, you know, if I go check out a group, I have 150 posts to look at for my day, I'm going to stay there and I'm going to engage, compared to something like, oh, there's a new post in CNC Knives, I got to go see this. Like,
yeah, it's fun. Like, I'll have content that I just make for that group because I know they'll get it. Like, my regular followers, they're not going to appreciate it. So I'm like, I'm off to the Millie Club. They love me. And it's fun. And then I got a comment the other day and about how respectful this group is. And that's 100% true.
This group is very respectful. And as Jason was saying, people that aren't stereotypical, my kind of people that are a little bit weird, I almost enjoy posts that make you scratch your head a little bit and go, what was that about? Because it will bring the select few assholes out of the dark. And we just like, boom, gone, banned.
Our banned list is definitely the bottom of the internet. If you want to know who not to hang with, they're on our banned list, and there's hundreds and hundreds of people. Well, I have no problem dropping the hammer on somebody that doesn't fit into the culture. Like,
yeah,
There's no time for a bully. There's no time for a bigot. There's no time for, and then also there's other guys that we've tossed in the past who just, they never have anything positive to say. Everything is a downer. Everything is Eeyore. And there will be like, there's one guy in particular in my mind that we called him Eeyore for 6 months, where it's like, does anyone ever remember this guy saying anything positive about anything? He doesn't even seem to like knives. So it's not like he broke the rules, but there was just one day where he came after me for something silly and it was one more Eeyore post, and I just banned him.
Yeah.
And he got real upset about it. And like, why'd you do that? Well, man, you're not fitting in here. Like, go find your tribe. There's a tribe for you, and it's not here. So bye.
Yeah, go away.
Yeah, and it's okay.
Those people always seem to find their way over to knife memes to go say rude things about us, and we
don't care. I don't care what people say in knife memes. I'm not in the group. I don't care.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want about me when I'm not around. I don't care. You're entitled to your opinion, but I don't need to hear it.
People are strange on the internet.
They are.
You're behind a keyboard, and it's like, why did you feel comfortable saying that?
The best ones are when someone, because you can click on someone's profile and it'll show like their engagement points, which I know people don't think matter. I look at engagement points because if you have 12 and I'm clicking on it because you had an asshole comment, it means you've never done anything in the group. And you can look at their history. It's like, you're in the group for 4 years and never made a single comment until someone said something that wasn't quite your jam, and then you had to say something dick about it. Like,
that's happened a bunch in the last couple of weeks. I can't remember what started it, but we've seen guys that have been in the group for 5 years and they've never made a post, and they decided to shoot their mouth off.
I go back.
There was someone double wielding knives while they were driving video.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, I've noticed that about some people. Like, if they comment on my post and it's kind of like a weird negative comment, I'll go and look at them, and they like just joined like 2 days ago. It's like, oh, I get it. Welcome aboard.
I need to address something in the comments here. I think Alpha Zero is LARPing as a video game character, because he's going on a rant about Area 51 and traveling to America. Evidently, he's a Finnish soldier, and now he's telling us about the pyramids that were built 8,000 years ago. Alpha, we're talking knives here, man. What are you doing?
Wow.
You got all heavy on us, but yeah, isn't that a character from a video game?
Fallout, right?
Fallout. Are you Fallout guy? Yeah.
Huh.
He's drunk.
I think he's on the wrong stream.
Hey, dude, it's real early in the morning to be drinking. Too much vodka. Carry on, sir. All right. Yeah, so we're really proud of the culture that we have. We're proud of the fact that we almost don't have to police it as much as we used to, that the members do it. So there's a lot of members that they don't mind going, hey man, that's not how we do things here. Like, take it somewhere else. And it works better. It's more effective than when the moderators do it. It really is. Yeah.
I normally I don't get a lot of negative comments at all, which is I appreciate, but I normally just know that if someone comments negatively, I just kind of leave it alone. I had to report one comment on my Ben Peterson post. Like with me meeting Ben Peterson, and a guy commented something negative, and then Ben responded to him really kindly, and then he responded back, and then I just like let the moderators know, I'm like, I don't like this guy. Like, he's bringing my posts down. I got to meet Ben Peterson, and he's all negative. Which I think it was taken care of too. So it's just like, and that's the most negative that I've really seen.
I think we've managed to throw out enough that the rest keep their mouths shut.
Yeah, just keep it classy. I mean, what's the point? If you got something mean to say, go join the Microtech group.
I think, unfortunately, we've built a society with the internet where we've gone from mind your own business to I thought you should know. Everyone, we have a new culture where you have to listen to me. Right. I have a right to speak, but you're required to hear what I have to say. And I'm old enough to come from a generation where, your grandma would slap you on the head and go, mind your own business, keep your mouth shut, and I don't know. There's a rudeness to thinking that everybody needs to hear what you have to say about something.
Right.
And
that
I
pride.
find it really coarse and vulgar. I hate it. I don't like it, that part of our society. And it's the price policing falls into that category. People that I just thought you should know that guy's charging too much money for that knife. None of your business. It won't sell.
Yeah.
You're not saving anyone. So there's this vigilance kind of thing. I thought you should know. Tattletale. It all kind of ties together. I hate it.
Yeah, there's that aggression too. I don't like it.
Right.
I don't get a lot of it, but then I do sometimes on like TikTok, I'll get comments and it's just like I ignore most of them. It's like, okay, if the price is too high, don't buy it from us. But we're held like people don't know what map pricing is. So it's just like, okay, well then go. I can find it on Knife Center for cheaper. I'm like, okay, well they're breaking map and go ahead and do that. So, but for the most part, I've had a really good experience with the knife community.
That's great. We've seen people not have good experiences and they haven't been able to overcome it. And it's unfortunate. We're just here to enjoy knives. We all have real lives. We have real jobs. We all have families and we have obligations and we're all here to talk knives. So let's just have fun and talk knives.
Yeah. And you can, if you just humble yourself and you're here to have a good time and you're kind to people, you end up creating this really cool community where like Dan will send me CZ. He'll tag me in his CZ Shadow 2 post and I get all excited and stuff and it's fun.
Yep. Dan's good at making you feel included.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, he's the best. You know what he did, Sarah? He shared his location with me on his iPhone. He lives in Sydney. So when I bring up my map program, it shows two things. It shows the location of my daughter's iPad and Dan Tan.
That's my favorite thing.
It'll say iPad 10 feet away, Dan Tan, 9,943 miles.
I love it. Yeah, we're going to have to send him a Knife Hub patch when I finally get them made.
It won't let me send noises to his phone, though. I kind of wish I could ping him. Looks like he's 9,305 miles away. And he's not at home. That's good.
Is it?
He's out driving around. Yeah, he could be at work or something. It's let's see what time it is there. It's 11:30. Yeah.
AM?
Yeah, time to sober up and get to work, Dan.
You should be listening to this.
Probably is.
He will like be in the middle of a work day and then he'll just be in his car sometimes watching the FFIB.
That's great. See, you guys are doing good stuff here.
I don't know about that, but we occasionally talk about knives.
Yeah, sometimes. Good burgers.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
So what else is going on at Knife Hub? I know you guys tell us about the gun store too.
Okay, so that's one of the things, as we move forward with inventory for knives, we also have to take into account the guns.
Yeah.
So, it's the same owner, same building. So we're constantly I've got throughout the day, if you look on my computer, there's distributors open across and I'm filling carts for both sides. So guns, we're just trying to keep up, get the hard to find guns. Like the Springfield just came out with the Kuna. So they're a little PCC and a 9mm. And that's a really hot item. The Canik MC9 Prime is a big one. So just basically constantly Gene and I and the guys have conversations about so what do we stock? What do we spend our income on?
Sure.
And it takes a lot, how to move forward. The guns are doing well. We've noticed a lot of people selling us their used guns. So the market fluctuates as with knives. And right now it seems to be they're selling us guns. It's interesting. And they're not selling their nice ones, really. They're selling us the stuff that they can sell. And they want a lot of money for it, too.
Well, of course.
Yes, definitely get the Kuna. If you can get your hands on one, get one. It's really high quality. And it's a sturdy gun. The only thing is their mags are specific. They don't take the CZ Scorpion mags like they should. But that's just my opinion.
When I buy a pistol, I just go ahead and spend $200 on more mags while I'm at it. And I know I don't want to. It's extra money, right? It's knife money. but I just go ahead and do it and just rip the Band-Aid off, because later on when I'm at the range, I don't want to have two magazines.
Yeah, it hurts, but I always we use the phrase "buy once, cry once" a lot,
Right?
And they hold their value.
They don't exactly fall apart, and they don't get cheaper over time. So just do it once.
Yeah, and then you'd never know when there's going to be a scarcity.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I do a lot of magazine hunting for people. We special order in a lot of stuff. So if we don't stock it, a lot of times we can get it. We have good relationships with a lot of the bigger distributors. So we can call our guys up and say, hey, find me one of these unicorns, and we can. So suppressors have been blowing up, not physically blowing up. I mean, people are buying them.
Right.
So they're working on getting rid of the tax stamp or substantially reducing the cost.
It feels like they're going to drop the tax stamp, and that would be amazing. It's so cumbersome to get them.
Mm-hmm.
And then state to state, it can be increasingly hard. I know my friends in Idaho never buy a gun without getting a can to go with it. And it can be, year wait. And the crazy thing, Tom, is when you buy the suppressor, you can't have it until after the tax stamp returns from the federal government. But they have to sell you the actual suppressor. So a gun store will have a second building where they just store your suppressor. So they have like a quarantine. It's like a quarantine where the inventory just sits.
I tell people they can visit on the weekends and stuff.
Yeah.
It's been coming back pretty quick now, though. You can get it back within like a week.
Really? Wow.
The approvals, they've been coming back really quick. So if they get rid of the tax stamp, we won't have any more suppressors in our stores. They're just going to be gone. And then they've come out with a lot of multi-cal cans, so you can swap them between different firearms if you have the right muzzle devices and stuff. So that people are we've seen a really big push towards suppressors, especially with that approval time being less than a year now.
Can you speak to the AR pistol situation and where we are in the law? Do you know?
So it's legal. So braces are legal. They're back to being legal. If you put a stock on anything, so in anything less than 26 inches is considered a pistol.
Right.
So as soon as you put a stock on that, you become a felon. So you'd have to SBR it at that point. If you put a vertical foregrip on it, you're a felon, because that is like a super big crime. So anything like that. But if it has a brace on it and it's an AR platform and it's under 26 inches, you're legal, as long as you carry it as a pistol. So if you have a CPL, you can carry it loaded, concealed in your car, which is considered concealed. But if you don't have a CPL and you have like an AR-15 pistol in your car, it has to be unloaded and separate from the ammo and everything, in Michigan at least.
So a collapsible brace is okay on a 7.5-inch barrel, but it can't have a vertical hand grip on the barrel. If you want to shoot
that fireball, go ahead. It's legal as long as there's a brace and not a stock.
Right.
Yep. It's a weird, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you know what else doesn't make any sense? We have to sign a trigger lock statement to sell a suppressor to you.
What is a trigger lock statement?
So it just basically informs the customer that they're getting some kind of trigger lock device with their firearm when they buy it. So it's like a security device. Well, where's the trigger, or how do you lock up a suppressor?
Oh, I understand.
Yeah. So we have to tell people.
So it sounds like Big Trigger Lock is making out by bribing the politicians to make them bundle it.
I don't even know, because
we all know about the Big Trigger Lock lobby, Tom.
Yeah.
It's just they don't make any sense.
You have to put a padlock through the threads on the suppressor.
Yeah, that's good for it, Yeah.
It's
like, what I could beat somebody to death with this. More like that's as dangerous as it is right now. I'm not going to beat anyone to death with it. But yeah, so suppressors are a big one right now. Then seasons changed. With hunting season, we'll sell more shotguns. Everyone loves their AR pistols. The shooting and moving and shooting sports have gotten big. So USPSA, IDPA, so having some race guns. 2011s are growing. We don't sell any right now, but everyone's getting into 2011s.
I kind of want to get a 2011. I haven't found one that I love yet.
They're nice.
I'd like to shoot a staccato and try it. Mm-hmm. I keep all the YouTube influencers I like that shoot. I've watched them go, and I know
Yeah.
friends that have them, but I've never shot one.
I like the guys that are beating everybody on like a Glock 34. Like I love those stories. It's just like, yeah, you Ben
They fill it
Stoker
with sand.
that.
They go out there hungover, and they win anyway.
Yes, I love that. And so all these guys shooting. So when I did my competition for USPSA, it's like you show up, everyone's shooting a red dot. I'm like, I'm shooting irons, guys. Like I want the challenge of it. You shoot when you go from iron to red dot, it's just like, oh, I see why you guys are so fast. Like it's just a dot and you hit it every time. If you've got the trigger control, you've got it. Like if everything else is correct, red dot is just like cheating. So that's just me though. I'm iron sights like forever. Like I love it.
All right,
now, do you guys shoot? Do either of you shoot? Oh, we were talking about this, Jason.
Not enough. I'd love to more than I do, but I don't.
It takes commitment. It takes a lot of time, like to get everything together, go to the range, do your training, and then stay consistent with it. It's a lot.
In the city I live in, there's one really good range, but it's on the expensive side, and they're a little ticky tacky about the rules, and I don't love it. I need to find somewhere that I feel a little more kinship to, but they're further away, and then it turns into a hassle. It's not as easy.
Right.
So, but I do have a friend that I grew up with that came to me one day and said, I want to get into it. I'm suddenly interested and I want to try it. And would you recommend anything? I'm like, that's awesome. Let's go. So now that he's into it, I kind of have a renewed vigor because, helping the new kid get along with it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That's fun.
Yep.
I like to shoot pumpkins and stuff at my mom's farm. I keep my pistols at my parents' house because I'm not going to shoot them in Portland. So I go home and every once in a while I'll bust them out and go shoot things on the farm. That's about it.
That's fun though. Shooting pumpkins is fun. I haven't done that in a while.
Shotgun to pumpkin. Yeah.
Oh, that would be so stress relief. I don't do any reloading. No, I've got friends that do. I live in an apartment too, so I don't have any room for it.
A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, is into cowboy competition.
Yes, those are fun.
He loads his own rounds, and he shoots a 45 long Colt, and he knows the guy. There's the guy, and he's way off. He's in El Segundo or something, and he's the guy that can give you the 8-inch barrel, and he's the one that you want. And then he knows a guy in Oklahoma City, and he's your guy for the repeater rifle. He knows how to make the hammer just do the thing where you just flick it with your pinky in.
Yep.
So he's got 4 of those guys' little rifles, and then he's got a shotgun, and he knows a guy in Portland, Maine that knows how to do the thing. So it's just perfect.
Yep.
So he's got the whole outfit, and he'll go walk the course, and he's a 3-time Indiana state champion.
Okay. That's awesome.
I asked him one day, I'm like, long Colt, huh? That's wild. Those things, there's so much powder in those. And he goes, I only put in like 5 grains. Like, really? He goes, yeah, it's just barely enough to get it down. It gets it out of the barrel and down the range, and it'll knock the target over, but there's no recoil. There's
so many little like niches in knives and guns. It's so hard to keep track of everything. We have the Sportsman's Club. They have the Muzzle Loaders Club, so they all shoot muzzle loaders, and they have to dress up in the period outfits and stuff. And it's funny, but it looks like fun.
No thanks.
I mean, I would try it, but I don't think I'd get into it.
So we all know the shotgun owners are known as FUDs. So what do we call the muzzleloader guys? Are they Boons? Crockett's?
Crockett's is there a name for them?
Crockett's is good.
Yeah, Paul Revere's of the world.
I want to get into blunderbusses because it's got a cool name and it looks cool. I don't know how I have to dress up for that, but that'd be it. That'd be a hoot.
My dad's got a muzzle loading shotgun that belonged to somebody in my family probably 4 generations ago, and it's like a 14 gauge muzzle loading shotgun, and you just never see those. The thing looks like it was made in a barn. It's wild, and somehow it made it to my grandfather, who gave it to my dad, and now he's got it. It's crazy. You can load anything in it.
That's awesome. Yeah,
we should go pumpkin chunking with that one, Tom. We can shoot nails on it.
Yes, just load anything into that.
Right, load it up with plastic ducks.
Yeah, I'd get some like cheap throwing knives from Tractor Supply. See what those would do for that.
A couple of these.
Yes, there were some. Those mini Jesuses. Brass Monkey EDC has them at the show every year. They had Jesus ducks. I didn't get one, but Voodoo something or other had those. I was like, what? That feels kind of sacrilegious.
By Recent Design says we should call them boom stickers
Yes.
or smoke pullers. That sounds dirty, sir. How dare you?
It's clever.
I like it.
Yeah, the sportsmen's clubs, they crack me up. Lots of old guys that are resistant to change, and then you've got the younger guys that want to do the moving and shooting. It's just there's constant politics and drama going on.
They don't get along. They don't like each other, even though they overlap so much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's morbid, but you're kind of waiting for them to die off. But like, I don't want anyone to die. It's just like, but one of the guys at our sportsman's club moved in these huge dinosaurs from another. There's this place they did a dinosaur walkthrough in the woods for the kids, and they're these huge animatronic dinosaurs. And he basically gave them permission to put them in the woods at our place. So if you go back there, I did that video with the dinosaurs on my page, and that was part of it. Just these dinosaurs are parked out there. I'll probably go back and do a different dinosaur video by a T-Rex. Like, it's crazy.
Are you allowed to shoot him?
No, but I want to take my bow back there, and yeah, maybe my shotgun if I'm feeling aggressive enough. But yeah, I'd get arrested.
Tom, do you have a bow? I bet you had a crossbow, didn't you?
No, I had a bow. I still do. It's like 30-pound draw, so it's not exactly a big boy bow. But still at my parents' house, I had a bow. Camden got his first bow a couple weeks ago, actually. It's a little toy. I'm trying to teach him how to hold it. Doesn't matter. He just pulls it back and then goes right up to the target and lets go like 2 feet away and hits the target, and he's happy.
Hey, if you hit the target.
It is a little piece of junk toy bow. Kinsley shot me in the neck with it the other day from my 4 feet away. It fucking hurt. I screamed. I was not expecting to get blasted right here in the neck with a little plastic arrow.
That's awesome.
I got blasted in the eye once with a Velcro arrow.
Ow.
Yeah, it was the rough end too. It wasn't the furry end. It was the rough end. Yeah.
It didn't blind you or anything, right?
It hurt real bad for about 4 days. So.
Ooh. Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I just have a couple recurve bows. I don't shoot them as much as I'd like, but I have too many hobbies.
It makes a good profile pic, though.
Oh, doesn't it? You know how many comments I get on that profile pic? Facebook told me yesterday, they're like, it's been 6 months since you updated your profile pics. And, like, it's going to take a minute for me to top that one.
Some people go 14 years without updating their profile pic. Ask my mom, because my mom's profile pic I took almost 20 years ago, and it's like with like a very early digital camera, like 2 megapixel. We're at a vineyard. I don't drink anymore. It's just.
So, is your mom Mary Moore?
Yeah.
I keep getting friend suggestions for her.
You should be. Listen, Sarah, do yourself a favor. Be friends with Mary Moore.
Really?
Tell her you were on a live stream with Tom, and you just wanted to say hi, and she'll chat you up. She'll mail you pistachios. You might get a birthday card.
Pistachios. What?
Tom, she sends me a birthday card every year.
I believe it. My mom is the most mom of all moms that
she's like, thanks for playing with my son. There's $5 in there.
That's awesome.
She carries a dragonfly every day. She has a pair of 3. She might have a native, or my dad does, but she's got at least a pair of 3 and a dragonfly. And she's a farmer, and she's 70, and she still works like 18-hour days during the summer. So like right now, I talked to her today. She's slammed, but come November 1st, when pumpkin season's over, she has shit to do for like 4 or 5 months. So she's just cruising on Facebook, and she leaves the most positive, uplifting comments on the most random people's posts. And the most interesting thing is my mom will tell me stories about our neighbors we call it the Loop. I live on CV Loop, which is like this road that's half farms and half trailer parks. And the farms are all my family's farms, like my parents, my grandmas, my uncles, and then there's a couple more. She's always telling me about the Loop drama, and I don't know who the fuck any of these people are. And so, but she'll tell me an hour-long story. But now she has the group, and she will like get really into people's lives. And like, you post something personal, my mom will read it and start following your life story because she wants to know what's going to happen next. There are people in the group she's asked me questions about, and I don't know who they are because I've never seen their name. And she's like, they post every single day. How have you never seen them? I'm like, the algorithm doesn't show it to me. She knows everything about their lives.
Like, I don't know, creeper. I don't follow everybody.
So it's like a soap opera for her.
Yeah, she loves the drama. She loves the life story. I mean, the knives are okay for her, but she's just interested for the like what's going on, what's the drama, what's happening, who's posting, what's cool looking, what's pretty. She's really into colors. So if you have a colorful knife, she'll always comment that's a really pretty color. That's like a go-to comment. That's a really pretty color. Those are good scales. She's learned about scales.
I love your mom. My goodness.
I spent 2 years trying to tell my mom that like just because I put scales on a pair of 3 doesn't make it a different kind of knife. And she can't. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you put different parts on a knife? It comes already working. And it's like putting different tires on a car is like the same thing as putting different scales on a knife. It's still the same knife. And now she gets it. Now she understands why I customize. But first time I showed her my drawer full of like takeoff G10 scales, she thought it was the most wasteful thing ever. What are you going to do with that? It was perfectly good the way it was.
Oh, no.
She's a trip. I love it when people like say your mom in my post because I'll just tag my mom so she sees it.
I love your mom. I haven't even met this woman yet, but I want to go be friends with her right now.
Sarah, we had her on the show once, and she was walking around the farm with like 1 bar of service, and like every 3 seconds we'd get a picture, and she's like got a chicken under one arm and a cigarette in the other, and she's just walking around telling stories. And
dude,
it was just cutting in and out. We were like,
dude,
this is crazy.
I feel like that's gonna be me.
Could be.
Hopefully, if I can be as cool as my mom is when I am 70 years old, I will have accomplished a good life.
I'll still have my bowl bag on, and I'll have my cow print stuff, and I'll be walking around my farm with my chickens. Like, yes.
Also, my mom's a huge stoner, which is also, we get along real well with that.
Keeps getting better.
First time, like in 7th grade, my best friend got caught with weed at school. And like my mom was like, we have to have a talk. And I'm like, hey, Mom, guess where that came from? That conversation ended right there, and we didn't talk about weed again until I was 32 years old. And now we're buddies about it. Now we hang out and relax together. It's fun.
Well, I don't smoke. I'll have something in my other hand, probably a knife or a gun. I'll probably be walking around with my shotgun. Get the money worth.
Patrick Bryan wants to know where to follow you, and he says not TikTok. So you must not have TikTok. So
Instagram. The Knife Hub is official Knife Hub. My personal is MI for Michigan, Gun Girl 98. And then Facebook, it's knifehub.com, and I'm Sarah Grace on Facebook. And then YouTube is
MI Gun Girl 98.
Yeah, that's Instagram. And then it's Sarah Grace on Facebook. I got hacked. It used to be my last name, but then I got hacked, and the hacker was asking everyone for money. And the people that know me know that I never ask for money. So they're like texting me like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm being hacked. Okay. One of them, I guess the hacker started cussing him out when he said like, are you okay? And he's like, this is not Sarah. So I had to change it to my middle name.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for you to send me that package. I gave you $5 and nothing. So now you're telling me it wasn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
do it.
Hey, listen, my hacker is going to have a lot more class. They're going to ask for more than $5. I think it was like $200.
I don't know. Sometimes they just take what they can get.
Yeah, because I would.
Well, it turns out you've been following me on Instagram, and I didn't know it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think I tagged
like,
you.
Where's my boy? And I'm like,
I was like, well, it's okay. I'm used to being rejected.
These lightsaber pictures turned out great.
Thank you. I wish I had better video content from that, but I don't have the best video content. I think we're still like in awe of them because you can actually spar with it. See? Yes. Shout out to Amanda for that picture.
You two look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, we know how to pose. That's what
Pretty
we know.
Good.
Yeah, that was fun. That was unexpected fun. Like when we showed up to the pit, we were kind of like the three of us were kind of like, you're trying to find what group to be with. You weren't there yet. So And then we had talked to Voyage Blade Works earlier in the day, so we found their group, and
Right.
then Uncle Rob, the guy in the picture with us, he was taking us around, introducing us around, and then we found the lightsabers. So
Sorry, MJ.
so yeah, it was a lot of fun. I would definitely do that again.
What is it? 357 days, Tom?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's nothing. That's nothing. I remember.
It's almost here.
Yeah, it goes by quick.
It does. Have you guys ever done like a Millie like reunion kind of or a meetup outside of Blade Show?
Not that I'm sore about it, but 3 or 4 years ago, Eric Lesser, while drunk from his excitement over winning the award for the Millie 2, told us that he would host a meetup at the factory for the club. And the trick is that they were under construction at the time. So he said, let's wait till the factory's done and then we'll host a meetup. And I don't know that they're done yet. But I want to have a Golden Colorado Millie Club meetup. That'd be amazing.
That would be fun.
If we could do it at the same time as the second sale, then that'd be the best ever.
Maybe we could all meet up and make the club knives. There.
Yeah. They'll let us. Maybe we could assemble them for them.
That's what I'm saying. Start an assembly line.
I'll bring my driver. I'll take care of it.
Tom can bring his mom.
Mary's there.
I called my
mom.com. Someone get it.
What?
Tomsmom.com.
Yes, we should start a Facebook page. Her and I should, dude. I'm gonna be friends with your mom,
Sarah and Mary.
I'm gonna tag both of you in a post, and I'm gonna let you guys just go to town.
Yep, we're gonna have our own little thing going on here.
Sarah, you could go to the farm and help out.
Yes, absolutely. I'm a country girl through and through.
Yeah.
Camden's going to spend a lot of time there this summer is the goal, to get him exposure to the farm life, because he is a nice little iPad-centric city life at the moment. So I want to take him down there and just like leave him and then leave.
Yeah, don't give him his tech either.
Yeah.
Give him a little camera though, so he can like do the alone, like film his his journey.
Last time I went down there, my mom took my daughter, who's 3, to the pond or irrigation pond, and she brought her back to the house, and she looked like a swamp thing. She was muddy from here to there, covered in mud. She still has mud stains on her clothes she was wearing that day. And she couldn't have been fucking happier. She was just like...
Mission accomplished.
Yep.
That was great. I got dirty. Awesome.
She knows she got away with something.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah.
Nobody was mad at her. She got to, dude.
Cool Grandma Mary lets me do what I want.
Yeah.
Not Dad.
I took a picture of a knife in the shop, and I was barefoot because I hate shoes. And one of the guys like, put some shoes on in the shop, and all I kind of was like, no. Like, no. So
the Tootsies get likes. The Tootsies get likes.
I know. That's why I don't show them a lot. That's not the kind of content I'm building.
Maybe it could be done in a tasteful way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every so often.
It's pretty funny. Like I even made an emoji for it.
I can't believe it. Like, I watched some of the other girls' content, and it's just like, really? No, I want to be known for something different. Like, I want to be known for. I like to keep it classy as much as possible.
I think from my point of view.
Yeah.
The thing that irritates the boys is if they think you're pandering to their basest instinct to try to get them to buy something from you.
Yeah.
They resent it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for a lot of the guys in the community, they don't get attention from pretty girls. And when they do, with the agenda of selling something, they just don't like it, right? So they push back and they can get rude at times.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just an enthusiast, then it doesn't matter. Like no one cares what you look like if you're an enthusiast. So when you legitimately, genuinely like this stuff and you care about it, it shows. And there are a few, and I'm not trying to denigrate anybody in this community, but there are some that don't feel like they're in it for the passion of it, right? Mm-hmm. It's just an opportunity for perhaps fame or glory. They're not necessarily nice people.
It's very easy as a female to see, like, it's frustrating for me because I do know that you can build a following very quickly if you lower your standards, but that's not what I'm here for. I tell guys all the time, I like sleeping at night, so I keep my morals high. Like, and I like knives and guns, so I'm not doing it based off like I'd want my mom to be able to see my posts, okay? And that's a good point too. Like we're not here. Like one of Knife Hub's things is we're not just here to sell knives. We're here to build a relationship with our customers and just be the hub. Like we want to talk about it. We've got guys that come in and sit down and they got their coffee and they just hang out. We've got tons of guys that do that. It's the hub. It's fun.
Yeah, definitely. You want to, and I think a lot of us seek our tribe, right? And for the local guys that maybe aren't on the internet, the tribe is in the store. So their ability to come and be, among friends and hang out and check out what's new. It's important.
We've got some guys in the Millie Club that come in, like Thomas Farkas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes in. He's an awesome guy. I told him, I was like, if I start a podcast or like doing that weekly thing, you're going on a podcast with me. He knows knives. Like he could just sit there. Very intelligent. Great guy.
So MJ's worried about you getting a foot fungus. I'm worried about you dropping a knife on your toe.
Listen. If I haven't gotten one by now, I'll be fine. But yeah, I wear them like when I walk around, I'm wearing shoes. But if I'm like standing by the cases making content, I take my shoes off. And it's normally flip flops.
We're opposites. I love wearing shoes. I get in bed with my shoes on all the time. I don't even care. Like
really?
Absolutely. I get in bed with my Air Max 90s on a daily basis and just lay with my feet up. I just like having shoes on. It's just comfortable. They're cushy.
Okay.
They make my feet feel nice.
Okay. This is a safe place.
It's safe. I don't know. I always wear shoes. I'm wearing shoes right now.
Do you sleep in socks?
Yes.
I can't.
Hoodie. And a hoodie.
In the summer?
Long pants and a shirt.
In the summer?
Yes.
Well, how hot does it get in Portland? Or
100 degrees.
How cool do you keep your house?
68 degrees.
How often does it get to 100 degrees?
Quite often. It was 96 2 days ago.
Okay.
Wow.
That's aggressive. Wow.
It gets hotter here than people think. Yeah, it gets hot. I got to 115 2 years ago in June.
What?
It gets hot here sometimes.
I didn't know that.
But it's just, I like it cool in my house. I like it 68 degrees. I like to be able to wear a hoodie at all times. I like to be able to put on more clothes than take off clothes and be too hot.
Wow. No, I am the complete opposite. I do have to sleep with a fan every night, though. I'm addicted to the white noise.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get that.
But I grew up in a family that we keep our house. They keep their house at about 68 degrees in the summer. Yeah, I think so. I keep mine like 70, 72 because I pay the bills now. So
yeah, it's different, right?
What?
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it is. I'm like,
68 to 72 is a lot of money.
Yeah. And you find out that you really do have food at home.
Right.
Even if it's just eggs. Like ammo's expensive.
Ramen is very regularly served as a gourmet meal by me in this house to the children. Like, I spent 12 cents on this meal. You guys better eat all the noodles up.
You're going to like it. Yeah. See, mine, I started thinking about if I spend $20 to eat out, it's done in like, it's a half hour. Like you're done with your meal. But if you skip it a few times, you can buy a new knife.
Yep, exactly. Starve yourself. Mm-hmm. Starving yourself equals more knives. It's okay.
See, it's for me, it's girl math. That's my type of girl math. Like this $10 equals a box of 9mm or it equals a burger. So they're both gone in the same amount of time.
That's not girl math. That's not girl math.
It's not. I'm not normal though. I'm not a normal girl.
No, girl math makes my head hurt.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's one part of girl math. Like, if I buy a $200, and I don't, but if I buy a $200 jacket and I wear it 10 times, you're not really spending that much on the jacket.
Oh, I do that.
Price per wear.
Yeah, I do that for sure.
Yeah, I've used that to buy absurdly expensive things.
The amount of times I have said, well, I'm going to buy it because I'll have it forever is kind of embarrassing. Like a lot of gun purchases, a lot of knife purchases. Like I'm going to have it forever.
Yeah.
I used to think that way, but then I transferred over to like, it doesn't even count because I'm just going to keep it for a little while. So I didn't even spend the money.
Because you can resell it.
I'm just going to resell it later.
It holds its value.
That's a nice.
Leave
That's
the money
nice
in the bank and earn no interest, or I can buy a knife and enjoy it and then sell it later and get my money back.
Literally with this shotgun, I'm like, well, I'm never going to see this deal again, and I can resell it for like what I'm paying for it. So it's practically nothing.
The way I look with firearms is it will last the rest of your life if you don't buy crappy guns. So this is really a one-time purchase where you'll have it forever. So go ahead and buy the one you want. Don't buy the one you can afford. Buy the one you want. And have it forever.
And I do tell people that, and I'm like, listen, I don't make any commission off the sales. Our goal is to get you into the knife and the gun that you want. You will regret if you save the $50 and walk out of here with your second option. You won't remember that $50 if you get the knife you want. You won't be frustrated.
You and I know your friends are going to make fun of you if you show up with that janky, clanky piece of shit at the gun range. Spend $12 more and buy the good one.
I've been known to say some pretty unhinged things to customers. Right. They're here for it. They know I love them. If I'm talking trash to you, I love you. It's all part of the experience.
No socks in bed, Tom.
Oh, they don't come off for anything.
We do love attention from Sarah.
I love it back, like not from me, but from you guys.
Sarah loves attention from
myself all the time.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun.
We're glad you're here. Thanks for being a part of the group.
Very much so.
Thanks for letting me. You guys have thank you for being so welcoming. We all appreciate it. But I have the most fun with it.
I love finding new knife stores that don't know about the group and getting them to join and getting them to be a part of it because it just makes it better. Everybody has money to spend and they don't know where to go. And every time somebody buys a knife on Amazon, the kitten dies. I'm trying to save cats. We're trying to buy kittens. Go to knife stores. Why is it better a deal? Why is it a better deal to get it on Amazon? It's not. They have free shipping. So
and let me tell you that they take the fakes and they throw them into the bin with the real ones. So when you order your Spyderco off Amazon, they're going to grab whatever they reach for first, and they're going to throw it in a box and send it to you. And you can return it, but we're not going to sell you a fake. So that's.
I happen to know that every single fake Spyderco that gets returned to Amazon is returned to Spyderco, and they have to take it back.
Mm-hmm. So why
they're literally buying back fake knives because you guys are trying it?
Yeah.
On Alibaba, quit it.
Yeah, it's kind of, you get the experience of buying it from a small knife shop too. You get we're known for our customer service because we love our customers, and you don't get that with Amazon. It's not
cheaper. It's not better. If you have a gift
don't
card,
get a sticker. I mean,
thank you.
Exactly. Some people really treasure stickers a lot.
Yeah. And another thing too is I say it all the time in my videos. You guys can comment. You can reach out to me. A lot of people have my personal Instagram, my personal Facebook, and Jean's number. Tons of our customers have Jean's personal number, and you can literally. We're always getting texts and messages from people and suggestions. We love data. So if you tell us, hey, you guys should be carrying these knives, and enough people tell us we should be carrying these knives, then we're probably going to start carrying those knives. So you can ask us for things. I've got guys texting me after hours hey, can you find me this gun? And then they get a text back the next morning, hey, here you go. Here's the price. You want it? Same with knives. I got a knife watch list. How many shops can you do that? Where you're just, the employees are constantly, we're friends. It's not a customer, it's a friend.
Yep. No doubt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All good stuff.
You guys run a classy establishment. You take care of your customers. You have great stuff. You have a used collection. I talked to Jean recently about a friend who came across a large collection of knives, and he has a really great organizational process for processing through collections, and he told me about it. So, if anybody watching this has, you maybe you've inherited a bunch of stuff and you don't know what to do with it, they're able to handle that at Knife Hub. So reach out to Jean.
Yeah. And we'll do we do sneak peeks on the collections that come in. And I've had guys we've got guys that they'll message us personally and just be like, hey, set that knife aside. I'm going to buy it. And it's oh, that's Matt's knife. No one else can have it. It never makes it to the website. So stuff like that. We're very, we love that interaction from you guys. And yeah, we have a huge selection of used knives, and it's a lot of fun. We're always like, we can keep our eye out for stuff for people who we've got rare stuff. We've become a hub for knife owners to sell their knives too. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, anybody, we've been going for 2.5 hours here.
Whew, it's been fun.
It's about
Anything
dinner
else?
time for me. That's
Dinner
Saturday.
time? What's for dinner time?
An edible from the dispensary.
Very filling.
I don't know. I don't know what Kim's gonna make or come home with, or I'm making my own food. We'll see. But I'm hungry.
The edible will help you.
The edible will make me more hungry.
I was just gonna say
Yeah.
it's probably gonna be more hungry.
I'm
if
on
they're going
weight loss
now.
meds, and the munchies versus the weight loss meds just kind of keep me even over a lot of time. So I have to be careful with the edible because the appetite does come back for sure.
Are you allowed to mix those two things?
Sure, it's all good.
Sure, it's working.
It's all good.
It's more of a guideline than a rule, but
Right. Rules are made to be broken, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Right.
Well, you should definitely post about what you end up eating for dinner.
That's a good idea. Actually, I could go for some Jersey Mike's. That's like a new trend on TikTok is, okay, when I go to Jersey Mike's and they ask me, do I want it Mike's way? I can't wait to say, no, I don't want it Mike's way. I want a good way. I want to put all the ingredients I want on it. I don't want tomatoes. I do want peppers. So do you want me to say, I want it Mike's way, but without tomatoes, and add this and add this and add this and subtract this? I just go, stop. I want everything up here except for tomatoes. And somehow it's impossible. Like, I feel like an asshole when I'm done ordering because like they never like, what do you mean you want everything? I'm like, I want all the stuff. I don't want I want Tom's way, not Mike's way. I want everything up here. Do you want lettuce? Is that up there? Yes, I want lettuce. You want mayo? Oh. So I just end up going, I want this and this and this. It never works out. It's never efficient. It's always like pulling an arm, and they think I'm weird for not having it Mike's way.
Well, it's kind of like, and this is on a smaller scale, but like it's kind of like ordering. I love black coffee, so I order black coffee, and like there's a pause on the other end of the mic, and it's just like nothing in it, and like yeah, that is the definition of black coffee. Like,
well, you're gonna get spit in it now. Ew.
Okay, I've had worse.
Coffee.
Well, Tom, Adam Carolla taught us years ago that no mayo means extra mayo.
Yes.
So if you say no tomato, you'll get extra tomato.
BLT, here he come.
I'll give you a tip that works for me most of the time. I tell them what I don't want. I'll say I want everything but olives and onions. And then they're able to do that because they're only remembering two things. So
that's literally what I do. Except for I'm only doing one thing. Everything but tomatoes is impossible at Jersey Mike.
Well, have you tried telling them, and I don't condone lying, but have you ever tried telling them I'm allergic to tomatoes?
Ooh. I mean, I basically am. I think they're really yucky. So
tell them your sister was murdered by a
intolerant.
tomato and you've never gotten over it and you have PTSD. And then they'll go, my God, man. That's
And
the
then you have
greatest
to
story I've
unwrap
heard all
it
day.
in front of them, and if there's a tomato, you just have to have a breakdown. Like they'll never forget again.
Right.
Like just start screaming, throw the sub.
The one thing about ordering everything is I get a little anxiety when they're putting on the vinegar and olive oil because I'm like, if there's not enough, you can't taste it. And if it's too much, by the time I get it home, this thing is going to be a soggy mess. So very small window of perfection on that part. That part gives me anxiety.
Last time I was there, I had to make them remake it because it came to me and it was just it was a soup.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not eating this. I'm not
Like
wearing.
at
I'm
the
not going to wear it back to the office.
Yeah. Huh. I feel like they wouldn't have done that at like a Blade show. It's always perfectly made, right? My Subway was good on Saturday.
I can't say
I can't believe
Subway.
we let you eat at Subway. Tom, we failed.
Desperate
I haven't
times.
eaten at Subway in the 2020s yet. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was there last year.
Yeah.
I had like Papa John's in that barbecue place they had last year, which was pretty good.
All right. You're rolling with us next year. No
Okay,
more
I was
Subway.
definitely, I saw the picture of you guys at the restaurant and I kind of got, because you had mentioned it and I think I wasn't feeling very good that day. And then I saw the picture later. I was like, aw, like, now I wish I kind of went.
Well, thank you for joining us. I'm glad we
thanks for setting
glad
it
we
up.
could connect and talk about the time. And tomorrow night we're going to be having Sean Houston on. So Tom and I are going to be going deep into metallurgy. Watch Tom's eyes glaze over anytime he mentions carbides. But Sean, I have nothing but admiration for Sean. He's a gent. He's a brilliant mind, and he understands metallurgy in a deep level. And it's exciting that he's working with Spyderco. I'm grateful for the 15V knives because it's among the best steels I've ever used in terms of just all the way around. Edge retention's amazing. It's easy to sharpen, and it looks good. So just a winner. So I'm excited to catch up with our friend. I didn't get to see him at the show, so I'm glad to get to talk to him. I hope everybody gets to be there tomorrow for that one. And then we have more interviews planned. Nothing scheduled just yet, but got some good guests we want to bring on.
Okay,
Sarah,
awesome.
anytime you guys have something fun you want to talk about, let us know. You're always welcome back.
Well, thank you. I love talking to you guys. It's always a blast.
It's great having you.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and say goodnight. You guys have a moist weekend, everybody. We sign off with the word moist. Moist.
I'm triggered. I'm triggered.
Triggered. Yes.
Have a good night,
everybody.